Hello everyone, how are we doing? I'm just slightly less organized than I should be. What's new? Hello, hello, hello. My webcam should be on. What are we doing here? Awesome. Hi. You guys want to watch some StarCraft 2? We've got some OSC King of the Hill for you, so I hope you do. Let's get it going. Oh, isn't it lovely when you just start the stream and the game is ready? Yes, it is. So guys, hello, hello, hello. This is going to be some StarCraft 2 King of the Hill action from OSC again today. We did this last week, if you remember, if you were here. If you weren't, then it's simple. We're basically playing a bunch of best of ones. Every time someone wins a map, they stay on as the king, and another challenger will approach. So that's exactly what's going to happen. That's how things are going to go. And, yeah, we're going to kick this off. We're going to get ourselves into some action here, and it is going to be Geralt returning as the returning king. So he was king at the end of last week. He beat Spirit, who was on a massive win streak, knocked him down at the last moment, pushed him away, and Geralt became king, and he gets to start this week because of it. Yeah, his first challenger today is going to be Baby Marine in the upper right-hand corner on Ultra Love. And like I say, we don't really know who's going to be playing next. I don't have that information. We just run through and see what the games give us and see who shows up, and it's going to be fun. We got 15 maps of StarCraft 2 coming your way. And yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to ask away. Otherwise, we're going to sit back, relax, and enjoy some games to figure out what the heck is going on. Didn't realize Geralt stopped Spirit's heater. Yeah, it was right at the end. He grabbed the final map of the day with a because he got revived. Geralt, he got revived. There wasn't a 15th player, so he got revived. He got another shot at Spirit, and he was able to make it work. I was a little sad because I was on the hype train for Spirit after what was happening last time around. So yeah. Alrighty, so we'll take a couple moments and figure out what our plan around is gonna be. What's up, DJ Crispy, my friend? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for checking in on us today. Hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, we are getting ourselves settled in for Ultra Love, map number 1 of our 15 maps on today's King of the Hill. Very, very exciting, to be honest. Very, very exciting. Not really got anything to kind of shout about early, guys. I'm just ready to sit back and enjoy some games, so hopefully you guys are along for the ride as we take a few moments. Command Center, Factory, Bunker all coming up. I'm just going to be seeing the reactor coming through as well. Twilight Council and Nexus continue to come along, and we get ready to roll. You got Behemoth this week, and I wish I had Behemoth this week. His entire team's on bye. I saw this, because I play Behemoth next week, and I'm like, I actually think I'm in for tough. Like, his team's good. I've got no idea how he's got, like, 1 win. His team's legit very good. It scores so much. Actually crazy. What's my favorite game outside of SC2? Old School RuneScape. It's a very, very different game to SC2, but yeah, I play this one a lot. It's very much so like my game. Like, it's what I play. In terms of video games, at least, I also play some card games. But, yeah. What's up, Lanchan? Thank you so much for the 41-month resub on the Prime. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. But yeah, yeah, I'm a RuneScaper, which means I don't have time for anything else because I play a RuneScape. It's a very, very time-consuming game. Anyway, we do have our medevac loading up. I'm going to go across the map, so a little bit of harassment here in these early stages as we begin to make our way down to the bottom left corner. So, a little bit of action, a little bit of journeying, and it's going to be the quad mine drop from Baby Marine to try and get some work done. If I had to just double check this wasn't drilling claws, because I remember when we first played the PTR Cup and we watched a Baby Marine game, none was building drilling claws every game, and I was just like, wait a second, is he a drilling claw guy right now? But obviously drilling claws had that little buff then, so it kind of makes sense. We actually do not bad with these initial mines. I wish that mine that was active still got targeted. It absolutely could have gone down. And so far we've killed 2 workers. It's going to be a nice dodge from Geralt. He puts that probe in range and then puts it into the assimilator at the time it gets fired at, so you actually save the probe by dodging into the gas. Very nicely done. It's a very cute play, actually. It is really, really well done. Blink coming up. The Nexus and the Gateway continue to come online. A couple of probes coming through. Add on a Stalker and continue to get that underway as our Stimpack Marines tank and the rest all coming about right now. Engineering Bay coming up and seeing where we are going in the near future. Was, you know, for 4 mine drop, it was okay, right? Like, we killed a Stalker as well as 3 workers. There's still 1 mine in a medevac. It's okay. Like, 4 mines, you may want to do a little bit more, hence the reason to commit to the, you know, 4 mines in the first place. So, definitely something to possibly think on there. +1 and our stim and our combat shield all continue to come through, so we take a couple of moments and get set up, and we are going to have ourselves the Stalker and the Sentry clearing up in the back. That's just another Hellion that goes down. The one medevac that's in the corner has that mine in it, but it's just too far away to really kind of get involved or do much right now, so can't really do much over there. So yeah, it's just pushed into that corner, and we'll see if it becomes apparent at any point. Storm and the Charge coming up, the Gateway coming through, Stimpack, combat shield, and +1 all building in from Baby Marine with an added couple of medevacs as well being brought up. Add some Marauders on top of everything else, and we are looking good to go so far. Oh, I've had a stressful morning, guys. I'm a little worn out. I didn't get to bed on time last night. My mind was super active. I couldn't get to sleep easy, and then I woke up this morning. Freaking EWC payment is got another round of issues with it or something. So I've just been like, I had to try and sort that out, which is a pain in the ass. And then I went to do the groups for the WardiTV October event. And I messaged like half the players. And then I get to a play and I'm like, oh, I've put you in a group that you said you can't play in. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay. I'll just fix that. And then I got to the next play. I was like, I've also put you in a group you can't play in. Oh, no. And then I was like, oh, my God, I've put loads of players in groups they can't play. And I don't know what happened to my system. But I just wrote down the days players were available completely incorrectly. So I don't really know what happened, to be honest. Like, and then I sent the groups that correctly after like half an hour of trying to fix it, because I promised certain players they could play certain days under the assumption that what I wrote down was correct, which was no longer correct. And then I fixed it all. The storms come in. They should probably just run away from this. And then I fixed it all, only for a player to drop out of tomorrow's group. And I'm like, no, of all the groups to drop out of, having to replace someone for tomorrow absolutely sucks. So that was my morning. So my brain is tapped a little bit, and yeah, hence I might not be as super into the cast today. I really meant to start talking about this, and by the time I ended, this game basically ended as well. I thought Baby Marine was okay scooting back, but doesn't have the power he needs to fight this, apparently. I mean, if he gets rid of those, there's still another High Temple, there's an Archon, there's more Zealots. I thought if he got rid of that first wave of Zealots, he might have been okay, but clearly that is just not happening, so one more Storm coming down, the SCV is falling, 13 workers dead, Bio pulling back against the Zealots. I think we're going to be seeing Geralt looking very comfortable. Killing the third base is obviously a massive win for him. Even if he doesn't win right in this moment, killing the third means you're likely to win in the near future anyway, when your opponent doesn't have the economy to stay in the game any longer. And as you can see, this is getting worse and worse for Baby Marine, because Geralt is not running out of steam. Man is supercharged and continues to attack into this base, get the cleanup, and that's going to be GG for Geralt. Take game 1 of the day. Keeps his streak alive from last time, which was only a 1-map win. In terms of streaks we follow on screen, guys, we're only going to follow the maps won. Usually I put on the scoreboard like how many maps in a row someone's won. I usually only do that for the maps they win today, otherwise it gets confusing. You start the day and it says 3-0 or something. It's already confusing anyways. So we'll just track the maps that have been won on today's games. So Geralt, first map win of the day, will be displayed when we get into game number 2, with whoever that may be. I will take a quick shot here, guys, to throw some ads on. Just to make sure we have some ad buffer for the start of the day is always useful as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Bulldozed over Bay Marine there. Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he? He just, he wham-bammed his way through. He wham-bammed his way on through. Alrighty. We are going to take a couple moments. And wait for, we need to see who the next player is, but we'll see who shows up. Am I in the OSC channel? I am in the OSC channel. Perfect. So give it a few moments. We'll figure out what the map's going to be. Typically one player, so Geralt will get one veto, and then the challenger gets a map pick. So that's going to be the case here. And in this case, the challenger is going to be Let Alex, who I believe played his first King of the Hill last week. Is back this week for some PvP. We'll be into this in a moment or two, as I'm just making sure all three of our casters are in here, and we should be good to go. It's Leylines as the map pick for some Protoss versus Protoss. We'll see if Geralt can get another map win, or if Let Alex can get some upset action going here on Leylines. What's up, Black Bear? How are you doing? How's everyone doing on the YouTube channel? Good to see you guys. Thank you for dropping by, tuning in, and hanging out with us. And yeah, we're going to be going into Leylines here in a couple moments' time. Getting this one off, getting this one started, and seeing just what is about to happen as we get game number 2 of the day on the way. In the top right-hand side, our challenger, picking Leylines as the map to challenge on. It is going to be Alex, or Let Alex, in the upper right side, playing the red Protoss for a PvP for map number 2. His opponent, the winner from the previous series, who will stay on, or the previous map, who will stay on as current king. It is Geralt, and has got that one win on the day here for the moment. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's see what happens in a second matchup. Obviously PvP now, and intrigued to see what Let Alex brings in. Let Alex plays in a lot of the cups lately, plays in a lot of the tournaments as of late. It's been really fun to watch him play. Been really entertained to see him kind of, yeah, having so much, I'd say success, you know? He takes maps off people here and there you don't expect him to. He's been kind of improving, and it's been really fun to watch, because I just see him in, like, the first round or two of all the tournaments. But the maps he's winning, you know, they're being noticed, you know, I'm seeing them, right? So, like, it's really cool to see him having some potential and improving as a player and leveling up and getting closer and closer, so big fan of Let Alex lately. I love his dedication as well. Man is just out here playing in almost anything and everything he can get his hands on, which is just awesome as well, right? To see someone who's just, you know, fully embracing the opportunity to take part and participate. It's very nice. Cybernetics core will be on the way up, so you get the Cyber core coming through. The couple of probes are on the way over. Gateway building as well. The pylons will continue to build, and our probie of Geralt heading to the upper right side of the map for the moment. So those two gates are just going to sit in place. The Cyber core coming up. Need to get that going for now. As, yeah, a couple of probes going to nibble at each other for a few more seconds. Nibble, nibble, nibbles. Cyber core's coming up as well. It's going to be seeing our probie escaping back out the other direction. 2 stalkers on the way up from Geralt. Let Alex with the sentry on the way, waiting to see if we get ourselves. There we go. A stalker on the way as well. Get that going. Good stuff. Couple stalkers continue through. That warp gate is going to be coming up as well, as we just have the pylon still building into play. The sentry going to nibble up, get rid of that probie. It's going to be a nice catch. It's going to be a nice kill, and Geralt going to be upset about the fact he lost his probe there. So -1 probe. Next it goes down for Alex, and Geralt will be building the Stargate before he expands. So he'll have that Stargate on the field to try and help him get some damage done, information gathering, and all the rest of it. And we'll see if that can be something that we can succeed with over these next few moments. Let's just have, again, that Nexus coming through, probe sentry and the warp gate all coming about. And get ready over the next little bit of time. Hallucination overhead has a little bit of a spy on what's going on. Again, Twilight Council, Stargate, both building up for the moment. The warp gate going through also. Hallucination moves back over. The couple sentries come down and they chase those couple of stalkers out the front as well. So again, just looking to push things out the other direction. as the warp gates come through. And obviously the main thing here is that Twilight Council coming up from Alex. So he's going to choose the Twilight Council as his tech choice, where Geralt is playing with the Oracle initially. Now the Sentry is going to actually corner in that Stalker. That's going to take some damage being pushed over to the side here. We'll take a few nibbles, take some hits, and should eventually go down. Stalker will get the KO. And our battery is a little hurt, but didn't die. The thing I always love in these scenarios is you look at the blink timing from Geralt, and man, like, it is exactly the same as the blink timing from Alex. So you just, okay, part of this is because we only build one Oracle, which is way less scary than if you have two. So there is maybe a part of this where I say, like, actually maybe I would have preferred if this was the, the double Oracle. Because actually with one Oracle I'm not as worried, because a battery in each mineral line means this Oracle will provide vision, but that's about it. With two Oracles, I always feel like you have that potential to get in, get a couple probes, get out, and just be that constant tax throughout the game where you're just like, hey, you're going to lose a couple of workers now. Thank you very much, I'll see you next time. And you just come back and you do that again and again and again and again, right? So, yeah, a little interesting as those gates come through, the blink's coming up, probes on the way by, and we just have ourselves the... Well, stasis attempt gets denied. The adepts are in as well, though. We will lose 3 workers. Going to make it just the 3, as this one last adept will not do it on its own. We'll maybe be able to shade out successfully, though. The Stalker's trying to chase. Do we have the final shot we need? Stasis ward, well handled. Very well handled by that Alex. And yeah, 4 probes go down, but that's those units that Geralt has kind of thrown in. Not doing too much, and 4 probes equals the worker count out, but at the cost of a bunch of army supply. I like it for Alex so far. It's been a fine opening. He's in a position to play this game out with Blink completing, and he will be taking the 3rd base as well, so both players going to engage into a 3rd base. I actually think I like Alex's 3rd base location more. That triangle protects you from blink-ins to the main, whereas the position that Geralt takes is fine, but if you have to defend up there, maybe a blink into the main is a vulnerability, because you're not covering that entryway of the kind of blink position into your main base, right? So that's immediately a problem that we have to kind of like consider a little, and maybe that's a little bit scary even. So a couple things to think on there. As that hallucination flies in overhead and just tries to see what else is going on. Blink is going to be done, and we get that blink finished up with the Nexus Forge coming on through. The battery going to be a part of this as well. Charge on the way up. Pylon still building, and we continue to settle in game number 2. Stalkers will take the chance to move toward the upper right side there. A couple of Stalkers and Sentries gathering up. We'll have ourselves a Guardian Shield even popping for a few moments. The gate's building, the Forge on the way. Our Charge and our +1 upgrade coming about as well. Adepts will continue by, and that Oracle still just sitting in the upper right-hand corner for a little bit more time here. See what else is going on. Will I host the next Home Story Cup? What do you mean by host? You mean like be a caster? Or will I actually, have the next Home Story Cup in my house as a... Probably not that one, huh? Probably not that one. I would imagine I will cast at the next Home Story Cup. They've asked me for every Home Story Cup for the last 4 years or something, like since after COVID, so I don't know why I would get suddenly kind of kicked off the caster list right now. They've been pretty consistent with who they asked to cast, so... I mean, the only reason Roddy didn't do it last time is because Roddy wanted to just go to Home Story Cup and play poker all weekend instead of casting, so... Pretty sure they're just going to invite me, Loco, and Roddy again to cast slash host. I'm going to buy a house in Crefeld and just host it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, I mean, they haven't asked me yet, but like, I would presume they will. I don't think that's a crazy presumption. I'm on good terms with TakeTV. I haven't fallen out with them or anything. Unless they don't have the funds to pay me, in which case, maybe not, but we already do it pretty cheap, honestly, so relatively to what we do everything else for, so I'd imagine it's going to be fine. Home Story Cup in Wardy's home. Well, I do want to do I've talked about a little bit the WardiTV offline tournament next year. It's not a thing yet, but I think we'd like to make it a thing, so I think it's going to be one of our major projects next year, basically. Plus the Zealot's coming in. Geralt actually just gets a bunch of damage here. 7 probes, gets away with the rest of his army nicely. And yeah, losing 7 workers, a bunch of mining time lost as Alex has to pull away from this. Let's just establish a supply lead on the back of this, and now getting a few more probes as well as the Oracle shows up for some damage somehow. And that's going to be a few more workers. So suddenly you're down 10 workers. Your army kind of took a bad fight too. And Geralt just showing he's a little bit of the stronger macro player in this scenario. Like, Alex just set up for a very regular game. I think you can see that mechanically Geralt has just been stronger because he's been able to withdraw himself back into this very comfortably. He's been able to make some plays on the map immediately. And definitely seeing that kind of difference in level. And we expect this coming in, right? Like, Alex is definitely the, like I say, he's that round 1, round 2 guy in a lot of these tournaments we've cast. And while he's getting map wins, he's maybe not quite on the level of someone like Geralt, who goes, you know, into the deeper stages of the event sometimes as well. Stalkers will fight. A couple more Stalkers get chased away. And that will be Geralt taking the second map of the day. So Geralt increases his win streak on today's King of the Hill to 2, and we'll see who his next challenger shall be. What's up, dude? Thank you for the 7 stream watch streak. See a bunch of you guys on your stream watch streaks. Thanks for sharing them. They're fun to see. I'm not going to shout at every single one, but please do share them. I like to see them, and I will mention them here and there when I see a couple. The Gimmicked coming in with the 5 stream watch streak as well. What's up, Harrison? Also on the 13-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. At what point in my YouTube career do I plan to transition to professional slot machine puller? Basically, every day that we don't get to 100,000 YouTube subs, it could happen any day. So TLDR, subscribe on YouTube right now, and you could prevent that from happening. Yeah. Yep. In the UK, so yeah, so next year is 10 years of WardiTV, and I thought it'd be really cool for 10 years of WardiTV to, do an offline WardiTV event. I don't really know what that... I mean, my vision for it is that we cast on the couch over there, that's behind my screens, and then there's like a room across the hall, which is like, which we're going to probably use to like put players in, and have like, the idea would be to have like an 8-player tournament, I think, and then we would have like 4 setups, so we could like, get like one group going at a time, basically, and it should be fairly minimal downtime and swapping over and stuff. But it is going to be, you know, with the kind of, you know, note on it that this is going to be like a home run event. Like, it's going to be a little bit, you know, it's going to be a little bit scuffed, probably. It's going to be just thrown together, like you know what I mean. So I think that'd be a really cool thing to do for like a 10-year celebration of WardiTV, because like I say, WardiTV turns 10 years old next year. So I think that would be very cool, just like a 2-day 8-player event. We would have to do crowdfunding for it. Obviously, usually we do like a bigger crowdfunding campaign for something once a year. This year it really flopped, unfortunately. So I'm thinking maybe next year if we go in with a little bit more direction and a little bit more of a, hey, we're going to crowdfund specifically for this. And then maybe we can get like, I'm hoping to get like a $5,000 to $10,000 prize pool to begin with, and then like use the crowdfunding to basically use the crowdfunding just to pay for everything, right? Because I would love to be able to fly some of the players out. I've already looked at the price of the hotels, for example, which is very affordable, considering we're putting 8 people in hotels probably. So you know what I mean? Like when I looked at it like all like that, like if we try and pay for like 8 players hotels, flights are obviously a bit more. Flights are a little bit tougher because it depends. But then we could maybe do crowdfunding tiers, so we hit a certain amount, we could fly 1 worldwide player in. So whoever, you know, 1 player from around the world, or 1 specifically a Korean player. So a Korean player wants to come and play. You know what I mean? So something along those lines. Something along those lines. And this would not be something you can show up to and watch. It's literally going to be my house. Yeah, it would literally be in my house, but I think it'd be fun. You know, I think we'd have a good time, do a couple long, you know, try and get a couple long days of it. You're going down. You donated $500 to that for sure. Yeah, I think well, I'm gonna see what next year looks like. Kind of at the start of next year, we'll see what's going on, and I'm gonna give myself like 6 months ish to plan it. So realistically, like so I'll probably make a decision on it like February, March, and crowdfund it in March into April or so, and then we just go from there. And like I said, because I'm gonna have to, there's gonna be some costs, right? There's gonna be some costs. So the whole thing with the you know, because for example, I don't have like 4 different tables for people to play on, so I'm gonna need to spend like $100 on 4 tables or something. It's just some stuff like that, you know. I think I have 4 PCs. Like some people are gonna be playing on some crappy PCs, but like good enough to run StarCraft, so it'll probably be fine. This is where I'm at, right? Like, like I say, there's a very good chance it's gonna be a little bit scuffed. But yeah. Or maybe just an offline event with more money. Or you mean an online event with more money instead? I mean, the thing is that... The thing is that basically, like... Put it this way. If I try and crowdfund for a normal tournament, everybody basically says, Wardy, you already run normal tournaments. Why would we support that? And I'm like... Because I need money to run the tournaments? And everyone's like, no. So every time I do the crowdfunding for something more normal, people are like, no. But if we did a crowdfunding for an offline event, people would really like that, I think. And I think it would actually be a successful crowdfunding and get people to donate who don't usually donate. And hence, like, it goes against everything I do. Everything I've done for the last 10 years has been as efficient as possible with money, you know? Like... It's been as efficient as it possible. Like, I've drawn out tournaments for as many days as possible. I've always put money towards the players. We've taken very low amounts of money for, like, production value. You know, anytime that there's been, like, upgrades to, like, the stream production, it's been, like, you know, like, overlays and stuff. It's been, like, just we've had a good month, and it doesn't impact the tournaments because we've just had some extra money. So I've gotten the stream looking nicer and so on. Like, you know, we don't do any of this funky stuff. We don't pay for admins. I admin all of my cups myself. You know, we've done everything for the last, you know, 10 plus years to just be as efficient as possible in turning money from you guys into the players. So I think if we did one time a thing where we put a little bit more, you know, we spend a little bit money on the players, sorry, a bit of money on, like, I say production, but it's not even really production. It's literally like, it's not like we're buying a PC or something for this. It's like, maybe I'd have to buy like an extra headset, but I'd just buy like a fairly cheap one before being a 2-day thing. You know what I mean? Like, the main cost is like, let's get some players here. Let's make sure I don't lose money, like, feeding them. And, like, you know, basically, once I know the cost, anything extra you raise can just go into prize pool as well, right? So, yeah. I think that's a, I think that's a very, reasonable thing to do after 10 years of doing nothing but focusing on prize money for players. And like I say, this is not like I'm like, hey guys, let's have a $2,000 prize pool and we're going to spend $10,000 flying players out and paying for hotels and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's still going to have, like, we will only do this with a strong baseline prize pool anyway, you know? Like, I would hate to think that I spend as much... I would hate to think I spent more putting the tournament on than I do on prize money. Which is why, A, we're going to go for very low costs, and I would like to think that at the very least it's like, if we have like $5,000 prize pool, we only spend $5,000 on getting people there and stuff. Which is why I'd kind of like to do $10,000 prize pool, because then we can probably spend $10,000 on getting people here and fed and stuff like that. And then we probably actually have excess money than that as well. I don't think it's going to cost $10,000. I think it's going to cost... It depends how much money we spend on, like, flights and stuff. Because obviously flying people from Europe can be fairly cheap. It's when we fly people from... Like, say if we fly someone from, like, Korea, basically. And that's a question to come across at the time. Like, this could just be an 8-player European tournament. But maybe one of the crowdfunding goals is that if we get to a certain point, we do fly a player from Korea, you know, and we have a Korean qualifier. So, yeah. Like I said, this is all just kind of spitballing. This is all just like, you know, a bunch of ideas that I have had, but none of this has been, you know, none of this has been like fully. I mean, it's been pretty well thought out because I've thought about it quite a lot and I've discussed it on stream a few times, but none of it's like secure or kind of definite. And yeah, I mean, if the stream doesn't do well for the next few months, we probably don't have the prize money to put up in the first place, in which case we just don't do it anyway. You know what I mean? But the general concept, I think, is pretty solid. So we'll see where the StarCraft 2 goes next year. We'll see what the start of the year looks like, and we'll probably start to plan it. If it happened, it would be about a year from now, so it would be in October, because WardiTV turns 10 in October. So ideally, we do it as close to the... We'll do it on the weekend that's closest to the WardiTV birthday or anniversary or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, we'll see. Like, we can do it cheap. I just want to do it. I just want to do it semi-properly if we're going to do it, you know? Like I say, it's going to be a bit scuffed, but, like, I'm not going to make... The one thing I don't... Okay, put it like this, as 6 drones go down. Nice from these adepts. I don't want to make the players pay for their flights and hotel if they show up and they have to play on a shit PC. You know what I mean? I don't want that to be the case. So at least if I pay for their flights and hotel, at least they show up, they're guaranteed prize money, even if they have to play on the scuffed setup, you know? So, like, I really would like to cover it in that regard. Wadi needs money. You thought I was a charity that provides SSD for the masses for free? Something like that. Anyways, 6.5 minutes into this PvZ, guys. I really yapped on. It's been a pretty okay opening. We've got the 2 oracles out still. The adepts we just saw giving themselves up to get a few drone kills. Only 6 drones lost in this game, and they were pretty late drone kills as well, like 5.5 minutes in. So not bad for Yakov. And he's on his way to this kind of Lingbane Hydra setup, which he's been so comfortable with lately. He's been using a lot of, and he's going to be with the melee upgrade as well. So as Bane speed finishes, let's see how aggressive he wants to be. He's still adding some drones, so it looks as though he's going to get to 80+ workers, getting a 5th base. But he is going to have a lot of Lingbane Hydra, and the general idea here is going to be he's going to throw Lingbane Hydra at his opponent again and again and again off of a very good 80 drone economy, rebuilding, just trying to whittle down that defensive Geralt, trying to hit some mineral lines, hit his economy so he can't rebuild and replenish as much as he can. Hydra's just going to jump up, just going to get in after the gateway. I'm just going to be opening this door already, straight in towards this wall off. But our Stalkers are going to be here. A couple of Lings in the Hydra's just going to jump straight through. Stalkers in some trouble. It's going to be seeing the Zealots taking some damage as well. Let's do attack, charge on the way. The gates, the cannons, the High Templar all coming up. Infestation pit building on the side of Yakov's. Just going to be seeing that coming through. Extra Lings coming about. The Hydra's all on the way. A lot of production coming in the next few moments. Big drop coming in from Yakov as we get ready to jump up in towards the upper left-hand side. Stasis catches a Hydra. And again, the Oracle just going to take a couple of shots there off the Hydra, so a bit of damage being done. The Fleet Beacon, let's do attack. Air weapons all coming up. And we've got a few more Banelings just into the center here from Yakov. 16 of them on the way. 34 Zerglings along with that. Hive building through as well. They've got the drop heading in toward the main base, so not quite the full-on just like, I'm going to attack you everywhere move, but actually I'm just going to drop in your main base, and that's going to force a recall. I mean, do you just commit to this? Apparently we do. We are going to spread out quite nicely because of the Overlord still dropping. Most of the High Templars down. 1 left over right now, but there was a lot of recalled units. But that should mean we don't have a lot defensively on the front doorstep. Like, what's available down here? 2 High Templar. They're going to get blown up as well. We dodged from that storm pretty nicely as well from Yakov, who may get some Banelings into this mineral line. Good job by the Oracles. They actually shot down a bunch of the Banes that were getting dangerously close. We're still in trouble, as we're going to see more Banes showing up. New High Templar. Going to get a storm. Oh my god, Yakov panicked. He moved the Banes in a couple different directions. And he's going to get the Nexus, but at an extremely high cost. Was that worth it, or does Geralt get enough value there? Because that's a lot of units going down from Yakov. Geralt has a bunch of money to spend. If he spent that money, he may be able to just counterattack and look extremely good. That storm that he was like, run away for a second. And then he came back in. That's a little unfortunate. Stalkers get there. A couple Lings take some damage. The High Templar's still setting up. And the Archon's coming through too. As we get pushed down, and Geralt isn't going to be able to go much further just yet, it seems. He's a bit afraid of stepping onto creep, which is understandable, but it means that Yakov is going to successfully move through toward Lurkers. So that's going to be a major addition from him. That's going to be a major positive that he gains over the next couple of moments. Storm comes down. Banes takes some damage. Still just having that mothership on the way up as the air armor upgrade starts. Not sure if that's... I mean, I guess you want to make the mothership tanky? I guess? Never really thought about that one or seen that one before, but that's my presumption on that. Now, that's a lot of Banes heading to this side. A couple Stalkers warping in. We will knock down the pylon, and do we have... Oh no, the probes! What are we doing? They turned into the Banelings. That cannon is huge. It actually does save a bunch of those probes, as it knocks down one of those Banelings far away. These Zealots get caught as well, and Yakov, with another huge chunk of economy killed, is doing what he needs to with this army, throwing it in, getting rid of Eco, and keeping this in a very, very playable position so far. Lurkers are moving over that left side. 3 more Lurkers coming up. Hydra's on the way through as well as we settle in over on that left-hand side. Oracle in the +3 attack on the way up. So we bring that straight through. The Lingbane Lurker ready to go. And we are going to see the Lings jumping in towards this mineral line as the cannon starts to take some damage. The Banes are coming across. Storm's come down. Hey, those Archon's already taking a lot of damage as well, by the way. That low on shield's going to get shielded by the battery. That means the battery energy is dropping quickly, and Mothership feels actually quite important right now. But I actually don't think we've got enough to deal with the Mothership, and I think Yakov needs to run away here. A lot of his units are low off the Storms as well. It's a nice catch. You see the Banes. They probably wouldn't have done anything if they turned toward the mineral line anyway. I think the cannons probably would have stopped them. So the rest of the Lurkers gathering up. The Zealots going to push through. Oracle overhead, getting chased. The Lings are into the mineral lines here. 14 probes going down. The Zealots still playing the chasing game. As this is a big chase down, but can we defend as Yakov? He's got a lot of Ling Hydra here. A couple Lurkers to support might just be good enough, right? Especially on creep. Just needs to get enough units out. The Hydra's doing their thing. So far, Lurker's been holding on nicely as well. We have got High Templars and Storms available. It's going to be a big factor too as the Mothership readies up to also be a big part of this fight. We're kind of running out of units. You can see there's only a handful of Stalkers left here. Geralt has units, I think, in his natural still. As we are losing drones, obviously, from Yakov as well. He's 80 army supply to 56. Cloaking pops up. This base might go down, and then what? Do we recall away, killing off one base? It's still a 4-base Zerg, so I'm not sure if that's enough, but then I'm not sure if sticking around here for longer is going to do you any favors. I don't think it is, as that is going to be the pullback, and I think Yakov will be happy to see the back of this Geralt army. He needs a little bit of time to secure himself. He still has the better eco. He still has a good army count, but that was just an awkward position for him. His opponent recall on home actually gives him the chance to now build up a whole bunch of additional Lurkers. Let's get a wrap around. The Fusel's taking some damage. Spire building up. And we just have ourselves the Hydra's chasing forward, looking to get after the rest of the Zealots there. Like I say, Spire going to be a switch from Yakov. That could be very cool. Maybe also just preparation in case his opponent plays into the later game Stargate units as well, right? So you're going to be prepped on either side of that, ready to go whatever happens. Lurkers and Hydras will shoot. There's the cloaking. We're going to run away again. Yakov, uncomfortable with the concept of just standing still and taking a battle here, is just not going for it at all. And a couple Lurkers firing through. The Hydra's taking their chance to work through some gateways, knocking open a doorway. This Archon goes down. The Storm will drop into place. Hydras are going to back it up. And again, a couple Tempests, Archons, all on the way by. Oracle coming along. But the High Templars coming up as well. And these Lurkers going to sit here, hit these Archons quite heavily. Archons taking a lot of damage. Going to turn back around. Both Lurkers will fall. Geralt continue to hold on with pretty low supply in the grand scheme of things at the moment. Not looking great for him. He is getting Tempest. I mean, he's making improvements. Like I say, that's why the Spire was important. Because now that Geralt gets to some later game units like the Tempests, preemptively having the Spire available to you is an absolutely massive factor. Like, having that just ready to go is a major positive. So that is a big plus there. As the Lurkers and the Hydra is going to be in position. The Storm comes down onto the Lurkers. Again, the Bane's still morphing in the +2 melee. The +1 Flare Carapace coming online. Tempest Cannons and everything else. Part of this right now as well. There go the Bane lane's going to make a little bit of a play around, figuring out where they want to go. Crash through. Storm drops straight into position. Storm is going to be fading away in a moment or so as we have push up over here. Ooh, we're going to step through the Storm. I really feel like Hydra stepping through Storms really never looks pretty. Tell you what, that's a very high Archon count. That's not going to be good against Lurkers because the Archons have to run so far into Lurker fire to be able to just shoot because of their short arms. It really sucks, so I'm not loving this at all for Geralt. Like, he's so Archon heavy. Like, if those Archons can get involved in the fight, sure, but which fight is it that they're going to truly get involved in? I actually am not really convinced of anything, to be honest. There's a bunch of spine crawlers around that right-hand side. Nidus network coming up. Additional Corruptors going through, the additional Lurkers, and Zerglings still very much so on the way. As you get the two Oracles beginning to Chrono Boost themselves out of those Stargates. Get those online. Robotics facility still coming up. The Lurkers popping out the Nidus. Storm goes down. Lurker's still taking some shots. I mean, that Storm is going to maintain. It's going to get rid of a couple of Lurkers. Oh, some of them will survive super low HP as you see the Vipers and the Corruptors doing their thing to get rid of Tempests. Around on the left. Yakov looking to break up on this right-hand side. High Templar out of energy over here. Just going to step forward. A couple of the Archons taking damage. Time Wolf coming down, the Lurkers and the Hive is going to take another moment just to back away from this, deciding to step away from this one, and again, Yakov clearly not comfortable in terms of just holding position still right now. Just going to see the Nidus on the left-hand side will set up two, and that's going to allow you to swing around the map a lot more comfortably. Geralt is holding on to a larger army, and the larger that army gets, the more concerned I am that Yakov can actually take a fight against it. Don't get me wrong, he's doing a lot of things right still, but ducks in, Lurkers and Hydras take some damage already. Oracle gets knocked down as well. We just see the Archon still challenging. More shots coming through. And the Archons, the High Templars is just going to be right there. Oracle Storm's down on that bottom side as well. Lurk is going to be taking some hits. Revelation's coming down. Corruptor's looking to come across. Oracle gets picked off. See the Archons continue to shoot. Those Corruptors still taking damage. This was not the fight for Yakov. He's going to have a massive bank to rebuild with, but this is my problem. What does he rebuild? It's going to be different. He's going to go Ultras. It's probably a very good change-up on the army. He just needs to make sure he's got enough in the sky to deal with the Tempest too, though, no? That is absolutely a problem as well. Well, there's 9 Ultras on the way. Yakov, like I said, I was scared the larger that this army got for Geralt, the better it was going to be, the easier it was going to be for him to truly be in this game again. And he's definitely in a much better position now than he once was. 20 minutes in on Incorporeal. Yakov sending some counterattacks on the left, going to force a recall. That's a big deal. But the recall on cooldown is just going to immediately kind of, you know, take one of the defensive abilities away from the Protoss for a while. So if Yakov can back away here and look to get recall on cooldown, you know, basically make his opponent need to recall but then be unable to, that would be huge, as the Ultra's actually going to take a chance to run forward. Now, how quickly can the Tempest really help deal with these Ultras? These Ultras are going to go look to feast on this army. They morph an Archon in to try and save the High Templars, as Archons are just getting absolutely obliterated. The Stalkers will try and kite. We have no Immortals out. We have, honestly, a few Stalkers, but not too many. It is the Tempest that are an issue right now, and they are, to be fair, getting rid of these Ultras. As the Stalkers just kite them around, these Ultras probably should have thrown themselves at a base. That said, if the Tempest are chasing these Ultras, maybe elsewhere on the map there is an opportunity for these, something like these Lurkers to show up. Geralt is only a 4-base Protoss, remember, and losing a 4th base would be absolutely monumentally disastrous for him. Tempest pull across that left-hand side, giving the Ultras and Lings a chance to start flooding through. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by the way in which Geralt has held on, but it's just not going to be enough to keep it going, I don't think. Mothership cloaking pops up, and maybe we take ourselves over to the Mothership now with these Corruptors. At this point, Yakov is doing nothing but building Corruptors, because the only threat left in this game are Tempests. And as they go down, GG is called. Yakov will take this map. Victory. Congrats to him. Well played. Got a little bit dicey, though, in the end. Got a little bit dicey. GG's and Yakov will finally dethrone Geralt and take his own first map of the day. So Geralt will fall, and Yakov will become the king for the moment. It's King of the Hill, guys, so the score on the board is just how many maps each player has won throughout the day. It is best of 1 for each match played. So it's all best of 1s. The score is just how many maps in a row a player has won. So Yakov will now be at 1, going into the next map, as he just took out Geralt. And we'll see who his challenger may be here in the near future. Thank you for joining us early. And, yeah, we'll be ready to go with someone else in hopefully a few moments. See who Yakov's challenger shall be. Yakov's been a fun player to watch live. I enjoy watching his ZVP. It's a little scrappy. It's a little bit kind of, it's a little messy at times as well, but it is fun watching the Lingbane Hydra swarms, and then because it's scrappy, it's fun as well, even though it's maybe not ideal for him necessarily. So I'll take a moment or two and get ready to go. Alright, Tokamak coming up. It's going to be Mana coming in as the challenger. Getting everyone ready, some GLHFs being called, and we should be able to go. On to Tokamak. Alright guys, more ZVP coming up then. Let's do it. Alright, we're going to dive in. As in the bottom left-hand side, we are going to have ourselves the Red Protoss repping Team Liquid. We are going to have Mana, and he comes in as the challenger to take on the newest king in the top right. It is going to be Yakov, our Blue Zerg player. Wardy, #1 Dutch StarCraft content creator. I don't think there's any Dutch StarCraft content creators that deserve a #1 spot. They're all second place in my head. A true #1 is yet to emerge, you know? Alright, so Yakov into mana. And Yakov, the current king. Guys, people seem very confused by this today. I'll explain it one more time. This is King of the Hill, which means that when you lose a map, you are out. It's best of one, King of the Hill. So loser of each map is eliminated. The winner stays on. So every map is a best of one. What we are showing you guys on the scoreboard is the number of maps the current king has won in a row. So Geralt had won 2 maps before playing Yakov, so he had a big old 2 next to him. And so he had won 2, but now he lost, so Yakov is on a 1-map winning streak. Mana is the challenger. We'll try and take him down. It's absolutely fine to ask questions. I'm only surprised because last week no one asked this question. Like, we did the entire stream last week and no one was surprised by this, and this week everyone seems shocked by this. Yeah, everyone seems shocked by this right now, so yeah. Is there a lineup of who's waiting to play the winner? Not that I have available to me. The admin team for OSC do all of that stuff, so I have no idea who's going to be playing. I have no idea who's going to show up. I get told who is playing basically as I announce it to you guys, sometimes even when I just get invited to the lobby. How is the winner determined? So every single map you win is worth money. We play 15 maps on one night at King of the Hill. And there is bonus prizing if you have a large streak. If you break someone on a long streak, there's a bonus prize. And if you're the last man standing at the end of the 15 maps tonight, there's a bonus prize as well, because you end up as the king. If you're the last man standing at the end of the day, you also get to be the first man up next time King of the Hill runs around, so you have maximum potential to win a bunch of maps and earn as much money as possible. Order on the way up. Some lings building from Yakov on the 29 work account, so he really wants to get something done with those lings, otherwise that's a wasted investment. They could have all been drones. He has no reason to have this amount of lings already, 16 lings. So yeah, he wants to get across. A cancel on the 3rd base would be nice, but he actually keeps a few lings back at home. Gonna get a catch on the Adept maybe. I think he's gonna get the Void Ray active and kill the Adept. We run away, a couple of lings may go down. We don't have enough lings here to threaten the 3rd base. The rest of the lings can come across now, though, because you know that Adept is dead, so yeah, we can maybe do something here. So you play the wall-off game. Oh, that was a gap. Lings could have made their way in there, but I think they'd rather make an attempt to cancel the 3rd Nexus. The Oracle shows up with that activation. It looks as though we're going to be okay. 3rd will be kept alive, and that's going to be nice. Has Parton played in any tournaments yet? Nope. I'm sure he'll be doing so soon. Didn't Parton retire? He is back. He is back. He's on a team. He's practicing. I asked him to play a tournament recently. He said, no, I'm not good enough yet, but soon I will destroy everybody. So I told him to let me know when he wants to play, and we'll get him in a Wardy event. So is this live or rebroadcast? Well, it's actually a replay of the screen that I'm seeing being replayed onto your screen, with my live commentary being overlaid on top of the screen replay that you're seeing, while you guys can live commentate in the chat. However, the moment someone puts a message in chat, it's no longer a live message. It's actually a rebroadcasted message. It's being kept in position, and sometimes repositioned when other rebroadcasted messages appear. So either it's live or it's not, depending on your point of view. What's up, Helio Gable SC2? Thank you so much for the Prime sub on the 5 months. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hydrogen coming up. I'm just going to have ourselves the Blink and the +1 building through on the side of Mana. Cannon on the way. Probe on the way. And the Adepts are going to shade forward and look for a chance to get to the front there, as a couple of Oracles will activate, and one Queen already going down. Second Queen taking damage. Adept will get surrounded by a couple of lings there. The Queens get rid of an Oracle as well. And that is going to be the Oracle going down. 7 drones, 8 drones, falling so far. Make it 9, make it 10. The damage is being done. 11 and 12 and 13. And are you just going to keep on going? Oh, that's a really good start for Mana. That's a lot of workers dead. That's way more damage than you're meant to take here as Yakov. Last game we saw him take like 6 workers of damage at this point. It was like, okay, that's pretty nice for Geralt. Double that up, and that's obviously a huge deal. 1 Oracle down, 7 Adept, 16 workers in total. This game is a monumental opening, and that is going to be difficult for Yakov to recover from. So Zerg may have a short-lived kind of time on the throne because, yeah, Mana is going to be coming for this king position anytime soon once Blinken +1 is done. Thank God we have no best of 2 series anymore. I think we should bring back best of 2 series. I think the StarCraft 2 scene is severely worse off for not having best of 2. Ling Hydra will knock down a set of rocks here, open up a little bit of space, opening up the different access points. As the Ling Hydra now is going to take a chance to jump onto another set of rocks, and we're just going to pick our way through this, open up some more space. Zerg like space, Zerg like directions they can run around in and surround on, so no surprise to see that. He's going to get in after the pylon. A couple of Zealots are going to step through. Stalker's going to shoot. Ling Hydra coming over. The Oracle is going to get turned around, and we do see our Muscular Augment still building. Spire on the way through. The +2 attack on the way about. Ling's wanting to try and chase those Stalkers down. +2 and charge both coming through. The additional Lings all coming up as well. Let's just have our Spire about halfway done there. We have best of 2 in the Masters Cup group stage. Oh yeah, see, OSC gets everything done, man. OSC gets everything done. I forgot about the Masters. I forgot about that one. Was that 6-player groups, best of 2s? That's always fun. That's like 30 maps. Kind of the same length as like a 10 best of 3 day. It's always a good one. Nice Storm coming in as we hit a few Banes. I'm just trying to come on through, trying to hit these mineral lines. 13 probes going down already, so Yakov coming across with some powerful Ling Bane Hydra. Yo, those Banelings, they got to hit the heart of that Protoss army. So much splash damage on those Banelings there. He's going to right-click the Nexus down, but he might be able to stand around and still fight the army after 2. Always impressive if you get rid of a Nexus, then you're still able to kind of fight the army after. And Mana, I actually thought it was an okay-ish fight for him. It was those few Banes that did reach the army. Those being able to reach the army, hit so many units down was painful. One more Storm comes in. Some Hydras do get preserved. Hey, you know what we are back to? We're back to kind of a scrappy game here. Do we love it for Yakov? I actually still don't know if I do, because there's going to be a severe, upgrade difference in this game. Because Yakov was behind early, he was more committed to this attack than he was ever committed in the previous game. Look at Den coming through. The Evolution Chamber and the drones building as well. See a few Stalkers going down after the Zerglings. Nexus and High Templar building up. Our Stalkers will try and get the Lings as well. And let's see the few Lings coming back around the bottom side. Hydra's still knocking on the front door. The Archon right there is potentially in a bit of danger. We do drop one Storm down to hit the Hydras a little bit as well. Stalkers will chase. A couple Hydras take some damage. +1 missiles coming through. Lings coming up. The Lurk Den is about to finish, and the Infestation Pit will come through as well here on the side of Yakov. So we bring that straight into play. Lurkers still gathering. A few Lings moving around. Nice little storm as you actually see a High Templar going down to that. So Templar goes down, Archon still stepping across. That Zealot going to get there with the Stalkers. That Zergling will fall. And Ling Hydra coming about. Just going to see a couple things going down. Mana trying to get through the center. The longer this goes, the better I feel for Mana. You get the 4th base back online. Yes, there are Lurkers up now. But I do feel like Mana, like I said, because Yakov was very committed early because of that early damage, he gets to this point in the game worse off than what he got to this part of the game in, or in a worse off position than where he was when he played against Geralt. And that was already kind of tough for him. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely possible for Yakov to win here. But I do think that I'm kind of liking where we're getting to from Mana. Fleet Beacon coming up. Them hold position lurkers. Very, very nice. And they are going to hit big as Mana only just realized them. I thought Mana knew they were there, but he obviously just thought the rest of the army was there. The lurker's getting some good shots off. It's a nice play from Yakov, and he does succeed with those lurkers holding position and then firing once Mana was in range and committed down that ramp for a few free shots. So it's really kind of a bit of a time countdown right now, where Yakov is definitely in a good position right now. But again, as time ticks by, Mana's position will improve, and can Mana bring himself back into this game? It's going to be our question. If he's Zerglin's trying to run forward, the Lurker's set up. Stalker Archon begins to fight. We're going to drop a Storm down toward a few Lurkers there as well. And Storm coming in, we will see another Storm fading away. High Templar's in trouble. Hydra's seismic spines, +2 missiles, +1 melee. Being brought up as we speak. Hydra Lurker, gonna escape up to the top side. Dropping Nidus network down. Extra Lurker's finishing up, the seismic spine still coming through. So yeah, Yakov able to really make his way to that Lurker setup, but Mana's anti-Lurker force is growing. Immortals are coming out. We got the Tempest count growing as well. Hydra Lurker still trying to step forward onto the map here, heading down to the bottom left. Those Lurkers will burrow up. A couple of Zealots get chased away already. We drop a Storm in. Do a couple of Lurkers right there as well. And a couple of Mortals coming up on the robotics facilities. Lurkers building through, a Nidus network about to complete. Hydra Lurker force now working all the way over to this left-hand side. The Overseer's overhead. And we ready up our opportunity. Templar drops one more Stormy Boy down. And stepped into the main base. Void Ray's on top of it. Hey, look at that Void Ray from early in the game being active and successful. Lurkers. A few more hits from afar. Storm still hitting. We continue to press forward. Ling's going to chase through as well. The little Tempest begin to fire. Archon's trying to step forward, and the Lurkers will be there to turn that back away the other direction. Now we start to hit ourselves through a set of rocks over on this other side. The cannons hit the Overseer as it flies overhead. Another nice Storm. Hydras do have to surge their way back away from that and just try and keep themselves clear from trouble. A couple of Hydras still going down. This army still looking to press through. It's another High Templar dropping. The Lurkers get burrowed up. We need the Lings and Hydras to protect the Lurkers from the Immortal shots, and so far they're doing a good job of it. Mana losing this left side base. Being put down to a 3-base Protoss does not feel great right now. There's that Spire that's going to give us the answer to the Tempest in the sky as well. So we're going to get that available for us here too. Overseer falls. The Tempest is still shooting. More. 3 Immortals at a time popping out. That'd be great if we lost those robo facilities. These Lurkers actually have a huge role to play. They get rid of the Fleet Beacon, man. We've just got Lurkers everywhere. The Niduses have gotten out of hand. Some of the defense against it was good. Some of it was not so good. Mana was such a great start. Also part of the Lingbane Hydra attack. Like I said, I was a little afraid just because we saw a very messy game from Yakov in the later stages, and he went into the later stages here from a worse position, even though, or with a worse foundation. Like, he made a good attack, he got in a good spot, but the foundation for that attack was worse than what he had versus Geralt, and so I was a little concerned, but he actually played it very well, and absolutely multitasked this one into his favor. GG's, and we get ourselves a game number 3 for Yakov. He's going to be 2 wins in a row right now here in the King of the Hill. Beautiful. Alrighty. Videos coming through. It's going to be Mixu for ZVZ, it seems. Very exciting. Persephone going to be the map pick, so we're going to get to see a rare ZVZ on this one. How very exciting. How very exciting. Alright, we're in the lobby, so we should be good to go in a moment. Ready to rumble. Countdown finishes and away we go. I'm trying to check my Twitter because I need to find a player to replace someone tomorrow. I was hoping someone might be like, hey, I'll do that. No luck so far. Alright, let's head in game. In the top left-hand corner, our blue Zergy is going to be Mixu as he takes on the current king of the hill, Yakov, on a 2-map winning streak, both in ZVP. Let's see if his ZVZ can give us something to get excited for as well. Like I said, it's a rare occurrence of us getting to just cast a ZVZ, so we'll make the most of this as we enter map 5 of the day. 15 maps total today, guys, so this being map 5 means we're a third of the way through once we get to the end of this current game. Couple of these just going to cross each other by. Hatcheries coming through. Everything looking regular and mirrored for the moment. So we get that started. Hatch gas and spawning pool on the way in. So we take a few moments. We get that up and running. Overlord coming about. And yeah, we'll take a few moments just to settle ourselves in on this one for the next little bit of time. See where we can go. So some queens gonna be on the way. Got our link speed coming up on the spawning pool. Get that underway. You waiting for that PvP? Yeah. Well, you know what's great about ZVZ is we're guaranteed another Zerg match after this, right? Because the winning Zerg stays on. So, no matter what, we get another Zerg game after this, which, you know, in this day and age, Zerg games are a little bit of a rarity, so we will take any that we can get. We will grab a hold of them and run with them, so... Bling's gonna nibble at each other for a few moments, get some damage done. A little bit of Ling. Healing coming down on this shrine, so... Got some heals off. That's a very funny fight, where we actually did manage to win. Somehow one Ling died in there. Man, I've honestly probably not seen many ZVZ games on Persephone, but the fact that we just take Ling on Ling fights in a healing shrine is a little bit amusing. This Ling's gonna try and run for its life now. Low HP, Mixu getting outnumbered a teeny tiny bit. And we fall away from this one for the moment. Couple Lings gonna be chasing around, just gonna be seeing the couple of drones coming about, hatch coming through. Everything getting settled for a little bit as we do see a Baneling morphing in. Get that up and running. Bring that over. These few Zerglings will make their way out over to the other side. It's just going to get chased back. Rotron coming about. Henley Glad coming online. And a few Zerglings still making some progress here for a moment or two. Just going to get across that Zergling. Chased and officially killed, finally. Always nice to get the Lings into the mineral lines, because if you get the Lings into the mineral lines, what happens is you're able to get a full scout, so you know what your opponent is doing. You can adjust your kind of setup to kind of deal with that if needed. In a matchup where at any point you could be under attack from an all-in and from a drone cut, the constant Ling scouting is such an important factor. It's why, you know, the players like Cyril and Reno are so consistent in this matchup, because they are fast enough to consistently get the Lings in, to see what's going on and to make good judgment calls. And that's why you have so much trickery in that higher level of ZVZ, because you're trying to show your opponent things and then do things, you know, go the other way with it, because otherwise your opponent has that perfect info a lot of the time. Baneling connects, cleans up a few more Zerglings. There's a Spire on both sides of the maps. A Spire coming through. Approach speed coming up. And the few extractors still coming online as well. So we got a lot of that on the way in. As we have our single Zergling getting up to the top side. Baneling coming across also. That's going to be the Overseer morphing as well. Overseer flies overhead, and again a couple of Spine Crawls are still building through from Yakov, so because they're both going Spire, they're both going to be a little cautious about what's next. What's funny is that we're going Missile Upgrade here from Mixu, so he's going to be kind of mutas into roaches probably, whereas Yakov going for melee upgrade suggests he's going to want to keep building mutas. So that should be very good for Yakov, because if he builds more mutas, whoever builds more mutas here, if someone stops building mutas basically, they're in trouble. And by building roaches, the more roaches you build, the less gas you have for more mutas as well. Roaches get that, Ling gets picked away at. We'll just have ourselves the Queen, just going to fire the Overseer and pushed away too. As we'll finish off that Overseer. Those two missiles, the Roach coming about. It's going to be seen the mutas going to get rid of that Overlord, and the couple of mutas going to hit the other couple of mutas for a little bit of time. As again, we just have our Overlords taking a little bit more damage. So that's going to be a supply block. As, like I say, it's a bit awkward here for Mixu because he's made mutas. And that's not going to do much just yet. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because you make mutas, but now you're fully committed to not making a lot of mutas, and your opponent did, so you've got to kind of cut making mutas. He'll try and use them defensively for a while also getting the Hydra count up. But there's going to be a period where you're just not ready for this, so... Hydra's coming up, plus 2 missiles comes over. Might as well get on top of the roaches. And we'll just see how Zergling's going to be able to get through, take that off. There's a lot of drones going down on either side. There is still overhead, of course, from Yakov, and he will be able to use that to play cleanup, and these roaches still building more mutas. I'm surprised we don't see a Baneling nest. Oh, we do see it. Sorry, I'm surprised we don't see Baneling speed from Yakov in preparation for getting Banelings up to deal with incoming Hydras, because you got to imagine that that's going to be on the list of things you expect from Mixu, so yeah. Couple Lings going through, a couple drones going down. Things running up. Hydra's going to get a couple more Zerglings. So I'm just flying in. Enough to fight Spore Crawlers, absolutely. So we'll go and get a couple of these. And that's the problem. We need the Hydras to chase after this, which is not ideal. We don't have a lot of the other tech. Because it was Spire into the rest of this, you're kind of missing the gas that you maybe could have used to tech into an Infestation Pit. To maybe get some Infestors out. Or just improve your army. Which is a problem right now. Just get in. Rotron goes down. We're going to get the Queen as well. It's going to be another nice grab. A couple drones still stepping to the sides. And some more Roach show up. Going to see that Hydra getting picked up. Overlord in the skies will also drop down. And we will continue to make some plays. The Evolution Chamber taking some additional damage. Yakov is basically maxed out. And Mixu has to play a very tough position where like you kind of need to play the defensive game on lower bases. He just doesn't have the tech to go along with it. Usually if you're Mixu right now, you're playing the lower base count, but you're teching up. And the tech up is either Infestation Pit and Infestors, which he's built an Infestation Pit but no Infestors on the way, or you go Lurker Den and you start making your way to Lurkers so you have a really good ground army while defending with the Hydras. Unfortunately, we're just not getting there. Since we have the Mutas. Yeah, I'm just going to jump into this. Maybe the Mutas came in a little bit too soon before the Banes were here, but I think it's going to be good for Yakov to open. It's going to be a, yeah. It's going to be a game 3 of the day for Yakov, I think, because he is in a very good spot. More Mutas on the way, and we just lost everything basically as Mixus. To continue to defend these Mutas is becoming more and more impossible, and hence Yakov looking for his 3rd map win in a row. Bane's coming through, a couple links coming up. Mixu just says GG because he knows that this is not going anywhere. And that will be that. So, we are going to be waiting for another challenger for Yakov. Alright, we'll get that underway, guys. I'll throw some ads on, just try and create some buffer in case we get a long game. As we hit the 33% mark of our competition today. 10 best of 1s left. How far can Yakov go? We will look to see what happens very soon. Oh, are we server swapping? Yes, we are. Perfect. So we're going to swap to NA. Cross over onto that one. Cool. So it's going to be Yakov versus Percival coming up. Get ready to roll. Alright, guys, we will take a moment or two and get ready to roll into Percival versus Yakov for some Terran versus Zerg. Our first Korean player of the day. First time we're stepping away from the European server. Oh, look how cool Wardy data is. 7 streams watched in a row. It's dedication, that. Right there. How do you select people? It's not me. The OSC admins have a list of people who sign up who are interested on the day, and they do some sort of randomization of the order. And yeah, it's something like that. I don't know exactly how it works because I don't do it. basically. Pump for Percy. Hell yeah. Alright, let's get into Maganatha. What a map. What a map. In the bottom right side is going to be our blue Terran. It is going to be Percival as he tries to stop this 3-map winning streak of the red Zerg. In the upper left-hand side, it's going to be young Yakov. What's up, Anna Bjorns? How you doing? 32-month resub. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so very much for being awesome. You rock. You're awesome. You're amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Let's kick off into this game. Quick check-in on mobile from the sea. That's a unique one. It's not usually where we get the check-ins from, so very exciting. I hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you for dropping by and showing some love. Get it. CV to the upper left. Match pool coming through. Couple queens coming through, the Ling's coming over. Take a few moments. Get set to rumble here on the ZVT. What will Percival get up to in terms of aggression? Will he just play a long TVZ? I feel like Percival's pretty comfortable in this matchup, so we'll find out. Speed. 2 drones, hatch going through. And we're seeing the queen going to get bopped a little bit. Seeing a couple lings. It's going to be again nibbling up, and kind of a question what Yakov wants to do as well. Like, obviously he can play a few different compositions here as well, so he has options in that also. Let's see what comes out of this over the next few moments. It hops up, Ling speed and the Ling still coming through. Top order is about to complete. Tech lap is on the way over. Lings want to get that couple of Hellions, just aim for that Reaper as well. So first Lings actually catching some of these units, take some of that immediate map control away from Percival. Be great. SCVs have to evacuate as well. Overlord gonna fly through. A couple of Marines are gonna go and get rid of the Overlord. The Hellions are still up and try and come across the map again. See the 4th hatchery coming down. It is going to be Cloaked Banshees and that Stim Pack from Percival for the moment as the lair comes through. Young Yakov going to get that ready as a few additional drones come about. Extractors and the Spore Crawlers coming online as well. So defense preparing. Let's have ourselves a few Hellions holding out on the tower. It's going to come over that right side. Couple of moments. Looking going to be done soon. Stim on the way. Again, the engineering bays and barracks all building up for now. The reactor and the refinery is coming through also. And the Hellions will take their chance to get up toward the top side of the map in the early stages as well. So we continue to move up over there. Hellions and the Reaper turn back the other way. 4 additional barracks. So what are we setting up for? 5 racks on the 3 bases. Obviously, we'll see if we go 4th base from here as Percival, or if he maybe thinks about going to 3 additional barracks and really kind of upping the ante on the aggression. But now it really is just setup time, though, and the same from Yakov really as the Bane Nest. And we got a couple of evolution chambers coming through as well. Drones coming by. And the Queens wanting to step across. The Zebra chamber genuinely nearly went down there. Banshee runs out of energy. Percival not paying attention, unfortunately, does lose out there, and that's going to be a little costly. Ripper and the Hellions back around the center once more as we keep on pushing. So these Hellions, the Reaper, continue to go. Some more damage out, some Zerglings going down. The Banshee still overhead and getting a few more shots in. 1-1 engineering bay upgrades will produce also as the Zerglings take a chance to run and wrap around onto a few of those Hellions as well. So again, looking for that opportunity as the Hellions continue to come back the other way with a little bit more fire in their step. Those Hellion flames out and up against the Lings, right? I mean, obviously just good splash damage availability. Able to get a good amount out of that. This den is not far from being done, so we finish that Hydra den up. Melee upgrades are both still coming through. Failing speed, Hydra speed coming online. And as the Hellions try and hit a few of the Zerglings. A bit of the Ling Bane taking some more damage. Armory will start, and again, the Marines and the Siege Tank going to push out into the center for a little bit of time. So, moving out over to the left, we see one Zergling going down as well. Able to make a grab there already. And yeah, the 1-1 about to be done on the side of Percival. Going to give us a good opportunity too. Uh-oh, Percival not ready to fight there, and that's a good catch from Yakov. Siege Tank gets saved, but the Marines get blasted. And Yakov able to make a clean up, as now he looks to clean up the Hellions too. It's a good one to punch. Lings still in production. Then Infestation Pit is producing through. The melee upgrades will finish. That's going to even out our upgrades. We're instantly onto the 2-2 here as Percival, so moving straight to the next phase of this game already. As Marines and Medivacs pull around that left-hand side, and the Lings, the Bane, thinking about where they want to go as well. We take the Watchtower, clearing up there a little bit. Groove Spines going to be a part of what's in production right now as the Zerglings take a run at the Siege Tank, at the Marines. So, the Siege Tank taking a lot of damage, going to get blasted by the other tank, and that gets cleaned up immediately. The Hydra's still going to be there. The Zergling's still getting pushed away. And again, 2-2 upgrades building from Percival as Marine, Tank, Medivac. And now some mines also in production. So mines a good kind of splash in there as you add a different kind of form of splash. And it's going to be very effective against the Ling Bane. Still getting some tanks that were afraid about the Hydras, and the Hydras being able to kind of sit back from a bit further back as well. Both +2 melee and +2 power-based upgrades coming over. That Widow Mine's going to be great. Bam! Oh! Actually hit less than I thought. I actually felt like he baited the units in beautifully at first. But you have Burrow. It's not just going to be Burrowed Ling, but like a few Burrowed Banes that are annoying as well. He doesn't really... I mean, I'm kind of sad that this CC is going to be blocked by a Burrowed Ling, because then you're going to scan and hit the Burrowed Banes. Unless these Marines chase over those Zerglings. I was going to say, maybe it happens anyway, but we scan for the Ling, we scan for the Banes, we get them. Maybe a missed opportunity from Yakov. Maybe could have got something a little extra out of that than what we got in the end. Things will come through. A couple of creep teamers are dropping. The Zerglings still stepping forward. We get the Lings, the Banes, and the Hydras still stepping through as well. Medivac's taking some additional damage. 2-2. is already coming toward completion here with the +1 vehicle playing a part of this as well. We have Marine Marauder Siege Tank building by Widow Mines being added in. The Widow Mine there, going to retarget a couple of times and initially aim at a couple of different lings, but decides not to commit to any of them. Bio Mine Medevac over to the left side, going to take the Watchtower. And now the Ultra Cavern, Lings and Vipers coming up as well. Trim Plans 52 going to be a part of this as the Marines will fight. The Lings are going to get a wrap around. Widow Mine hits, doesn't friendly fire because of the liftoff. Nicely done there. And the Bane Hydra on that right side doesn't go through either. So good defense from Percival, not allowing Yakov to break through in any position here on Magnatha. Here's the thing about Magnatha. It's a big-ass map. I kind of felt like we had some sort of a plan for it as Percival, and the more that this game goes on, the more I'm like, well, was his plan just to never do anything and just to, because he wanted a big map to macro? I mean, the Challenger obviously gets the map pick, right? Apart from like a veto. So it was so interesting that we end up in Magnatha, and like I say, at first I thought maybe there's an idea for this, but obviously the size of the map takes away a lot of the more aggressive options. But we're just going into like a later game. Drilling Claws coming up, Siege Tanks coming out still. We're yet to really make a super late game kind of choice, because to be fair, we're still kind of Lingbane Hydra Viper from Yakov. You could argue some Ghost would be nice, but we have seen recently some of the Terrans have been a little bit more afraid to kind of get into the Ghost. Making the first few can be a little dangerous, perhaps, with them being a little bit more flimsy to the Banes. We've seen a little bit more hesitancy on it, but Ghost Academy has been down and now 4 Ghosts on the way. I think it's fine as well, because it's not like Yakov is throwing units constantly into the mineral lines of Percival at this stage. Fire steps through, a few Zerglings getting cleaned up, a few more Lings, there's a Queen going down, now Lings from 2 different sides. 3 upgrades, Anabolic Synthesis coming through, the Vipers are going to get a Parasitic Bomb off, we can just unload in this main, but as the Medevacs stay clumped, they are going to take a lot of damage, and a couple of these Medevacs will absolutely go down. In fact, 3 out of 4, so pretty much everything that drops in there gets cleaned up effectively, and Yakov taking a convincing fight on that one. Still have those 3 upgrades continuing through. Ghost coming online, Marine Marauder 9 coming up, Command Centers coming in. Let's have ourselves the Spire building through as well, so that's going to be another later game option here for Yakov, but right now it doesn't feel like he needs it. He's having a good time. The only thing I will say is that he's not really had to be the aggressor into the Terran, like Percival has kept on stepping out on the map into him. If he starts to attack into the Terran, maybe this becomes a little bit more difficult, and maybe the defensive Terran will force you to be a bit more teched up here as Yakov, but so far he's been doing absolutely fine with the Lingbane Hydra aspect of this. He's had an Ultra Cavern, he's built Kindness playing, right? So he can make Ultras if he wants to. Right now he's just maxed out. He's going to go for a big fight here. Few mines will burrow up a little bit, not really late because they have Drilling Claws. They will get burrowed up right now. And let's just see the Banes crashing through. Planetary Fortress goes down immediately. It's a great catch. A lot of supply dropping though from Yakov. He does have the bank to rebuild, and it's going to be Ultra and Festa. So he is going to start improving that army that little bit, and knocking down this base just keeps Percival from being super comfortable in this state of the game right now. Great Spire and Spire both on the way, so going to see the setup for, again, super late game potentially. Broodlords if we need them. If we get to that kind of a point where Broods are necessary, we'll be ready to go for it. I'm just not sure if we're going to truly get to that stage at all. A lot of extra Banes finishing up. +1 missiles is on the way through. The Spire, I could say halfway done. As we'll obviously use that second Spire for upgrades. So we're going to get a lot of the air upgrades rolling as obviously Ultras making their appearance. We have Ghosts, so we have some answer to these Ultras. Getting that advanced ballistics as well, so readying up to build into the Liberators with the Lib range. Going to be another great way to hold down some of these positions, and from Percival's point of view, man, he's just out the Sense Towers. He wants to just sit back here and just mine up and let the Zerg run into him at this stage and just start creating very efficient trades if possible, where he can eventually slowly make up for the fact that Yakov is taking the entirety of the map while he sits back on his 5, trying to go to 6 bases. Ultra Hydra running on up. Still firing, the Ghost coming over. Bio going to be there. And Advanced Ballistics is about to finish. And Ultra still building by. Carapace, +1 missiles coming over. Press the Link still coming over as well. We do have the Ghost Marine Marauder building by also. Oh, Yakov has to, replace his supply resources lost with 8k to 10k not long ago. Now it's 16 to 23. So the Terran efficiency is starting to really kick in on some of these fights. We're really starting to see that kind of power up of what the Terran can do sitting back on this base count. And that's why we need to that's kind of need to, like, when we fight, deny bases. Like, really, Yakov letting Percival be a 6-base Terran right now is a little cheeky. Like, that right side base should not have been as easy to get up for, Percival as it has been. See what Yakov does. Obviously going to swing around the left. Doesn't really have much. Swing around the right at the same time. In fact, as Percival is moving up the right side, the Ghost will snipe. We do deny the planetary here. SCVs will be chased by the few Banelings, so we get a little bit more damage at the end. Army up the right side. Like I say, Yakov had nothing over here, so it's going to be an easy shutdown. The Ultra will actually at least get a siege tank with some chomps before the snipes come off. And the top right hatchery will go down. Still units gathering. Live Marine Marauder coming through. Ultra Hydra. Spines on the way. The only issue I have is right now it's more of the same from Yakov. We're now at 11,000 resource loss difference, so again, going to keep checking back in on that, but it's not heading the right direction for Yakov, which is fine when you're mining off all these bases. It's just going to be so hard to do it against a 6-base Terran. If you kept him to the 5 bases, it becomes way easier, right? Still a long, drawn-out scenario, but it's a much easier scenario. Yeah, Percival being comfortably up on the 6 so easily, like I say, it concerns me. Infester coming about. Let me see the bio. Loading back into the Medivacs. Parasitic bombs will clean those up. We actually do get a good few kills. There's all 3 of those Medivacs that are going to go down, so really not bad at all. There are the Corruptors coming through as we have 6 libs in this guy. Some Corruptors are going to be useful. I wonder if Yakov has any pretenses of going Broodlords here already. Say the Great Aspire is completed, so it's an option. Typically in ZVT, the way it works is you usually get one Broodlord switch. You get one switch into Broodlords because A, they're expensive, and B, once your opponent builds Thors against them, they kind of suck. So usually you get like this one switch into Broods, and that one shove of Broodlords is your Broodlord attack, and then you start building into everything else behind it. Say with those Corruptors out, that option becomes available for Yakov. You can do more than one Broodlord kind of play in the game, it's just typically the second one is never as effective as the first. Funny that Liberator unsieges and is immediately back in the Terran base because those 2 bases just point out into the middle of the map and very nearly touch each other. A little awkward for the air harassment. Next we'll take some shots. Just gonna see upgrades still coming through. 12 additional Banelings coming out. Lurkaden is producing. Let's target fire to get the Ultra as well before we lift up. The Infest didn't get close enough for the Fungal. Spellcasters are usually the answer later in this game for the Zerg player. You get Spellcasters up, and with Spellcasters you typically can do very well for yourself and make a lot of things happen perhaps, so we will see what will take place here. It's going to be seeing the nuke on the way up. +1 ship weapons coming over. And Liberator Ghost going to set up overhead. 8 more Broodlords on the way through. The rest of those libs all getting sieged. And send it up that right-hand side. And Parasitic Bombs hitting the Liberators. Parasitic Bombs hitting those Vikings. The Medivac's loading, the Infestor going to come across there, the Bio pulling back, Ultra Bane checking on forward as you just see the couple of Creep Teamers going down as well, the Broodlings still dropping. Trying to keep on shoving their way through this for the next couple of moments. Corruptor Brood still building over. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of these Lings getting jumped on. A little bit clear of going down. Again, the Corruptors, the Lings, all coming up as well. There's the nuke flying high into the sky. 5 Vikings at a time. Obviously using the nukes to push back some of these spores and just stack defense, troop spread. Things that can't move as easily are obviously very easily kind of killed by the nukes. The Ultra even get an interest in what a nuke means. Gets hit in the face. Not exactly ideal. Birds take another step in right now, so again a chance to come forward just a couple of moments. Here the SCVs go down. So we have made our way to the Broodlords here as Yakov, so we will have those on his side. Isn't this exactly the sort of thing we're trying to prevent with the Ghost Light Tag? I mean, yes. Like prevent, yes. But at the same time, like, maybe you could argue that Yakov is not really played in the way that Ghost being light would be taken advantage of here. Like, we have not seen Yakov be aggressive with, you know, he's not been aggressive at all with, like, the Banes in a high number. Like, he kind of switched to Ultras, and he never had, like... I actually think against this amount of Ghosts now, if you switch back into a lot of Banes, it's going to become very difficult. If you play, like, Bane Corruptor, almost... Yeah. At the end of the day, like, Yakov didn't play very aggressively at all, because he didn't... like I say, that right side base of Percival came up so easily. Came up super easily. This gold base is going to get jumped on, Yakov. It's going to be, again, getting those Broodlords in the center and seeing some success with them. The Corruptors get kited by the Vikings. That's why we need the Spellcasters, some Fungals, some Vipers. That combination can be so good, so we just get rid of this Corruptor with a little Abduct. Not really a necessary Abduct, I would say, but a little one just for now. We'll set up again. Right now we are very ghost heavy. You love how everyone's too lazy to kill the watchtowers in this map. Lambo, I don't even know if the guys know that they can kill the watchtowers, man. Like, someone told me it's because it's better to have the base with vision. I don't know how real that is. But I mean, almost became an explanation because it is kind of silly, no? Like, come on. No one's ever killed them though. I've literally never seen the cooling tower be knocked down and the watchtower be killed. It takes so little time. At this stage of the game, it takes so little time at least, right? Like, Brutal's gonna get caught in the frontier, firing away, and a lot of damage being dealt as we do have the Liberators, though, able to cover the front. Both players have a ton of money in the bank, of course, at this point as well, as you can see. Corruptors getting in after a couple more Vikings. There's a couple of Vipers still coming through, plus 2 missiles about to finish. The Broodlord is on the way. Percival has a ton of bank right now. Resources lost, 10k difference. We haven't really seen bigger fights for a little while as the Ghosts try and step up. What was that scream? It was probably a Ghost death scream. Ghosts can be pretty dramatic units. There's the turrets. Getting some Overseers, nuke zoning, canceling some spores that are trying to come up forward. The Ultras are going to make a play onto this base and drop a fungal growth onto the SCVs. The Infestor will go down, unfortunately, and we do not have enough. Do we have enough? We do not have enough to get rid of the planetary, so it will just about live at the end. That's 16 SCVs at least, which was something on that one. As we now just have the rest of the Corruptor Infestor still coming on through. The Vikings continue to kite backwards for a couple of moments. Gonna be seeing the Broodlord still stepping up. These Liberators are in a little bit of trouble. The Vikings take a chance to get in toward the Broods as well. Now some snipers though coming up. And the Broodlords start to drop off. We try and drop a Funk Growth. That's very late. Everything else had already turned around the other way. So really not ideal at this point. The Vipers right there as well. A couple more Liberators will set themselves up here. The Broods and the Lings all coming online. Shouldn't Yakov be trying to break at the 6 o'clock? And the 6 o'clock has so little mining on it. I think he wants to fight towards the fresher base. But I think the other thing he needs to be doing, though, more than anything, is probably work toward the bottom left base. Like, there's a gold on his bottom left side that he is not mining. And that is a base he could absolutely be mining, because Percival is putting zero attention over there right now. So that feels like a fairly achievable kind of... It feels like a very achievable kind of base to take throughout this, or at least try to like make Percival do other things. EMPs on all of the infestors there, so a couple fungals. Now the EMPs came off, and Yakov is attacking forward. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, though. The Broodlord is still trying to move through as well. It's just coming straight forward there. A couple of the Vikings still shooting. Some more damage being done. Brood's taking some hits as well right here. A lot more damage still being dealt, isn't it? So it's adding up. Vikings chasing those Broodlords down. Yakov just lost everything. He had an army which... I mean, he had an army which could fight it, but he did not execute it properly, right? At the end of the day, you needed the spellcasters to be a lot more effective than they were, and Percival's army is able to come through. Didn't even matter about how much was being mined, because at the end of the day, we didn't even trade out everything that was there to be traded out. GG's. That one will be that. Alrighty, so... throw down. The king, and Percival will become our new king after a 27-minute TVZ. Percival chose to go macro. He chose to play late game. He chose it the moment he picked the map, more or less, and he played straight along for that idea, and in the end, he got there. In the end, he got there with it. I'm not sure who our next opponent is going to be. We'll take a couple of moments. It might be a server swap. Oh, it is a server swap. Korea for our next server. So we've got another Korean coming into play. It's Solar. Solar last time out lost to... yeah, Solar last time out lost to Sebezdes in a crazy game. So he took one map, lost to Sebezdes, and was done. Today he's going to come out and play straight up against... Percival. Alright, we'll get this ready to go, guys. Get it all hosted up. As Solar's map pick is Golden Aura, so we have one of the maps from the extended map pool coming in. OSC plays with the current ladder maps and 3 maps that get voted in for the OSC season by players who take part in these events. Let's say Golden Aura will be our maps. We'll get this hosted up, and Solar, definitely someone who has the chance to go on a streak of his own. First, he will have to break down Percival, who has just won the one game. We are waiting for... Indy. So I think Solar just bugged out as well, so might be a moment or two here. There we go. Everyone takes a moment logging in from Europe over to Korea, because it always bugs us out in our first login. Is that ready to go? Well, we have a couple moments, guys. If you're enjoying the stream today, watching on the YouTube, don't forget to give a cheeky little like and subscribe. Appreciate you. And if you hit them buttons, we appreciate it. Everyone's in the lobby, so we're just ready to go into our next game already. Golden Aura, as mentioned, and we are going to get ready to go. So, Let's see if Percival can take another game against a different Zerg this time. Maybe a little bit of a level up. Percival, our blue Terran top left-hand side. And like I say, the level up Zerg, perhaps, is Solar in the bottom right. Lots of Zergies today. Third Zerg of the day. Obviously having a bunch of Zerg games with Yakov going on that streak as well. Very fun so far. As Solar is our bottom right Zerg. So away we go. Percival looks to win his second map of the day. Solar looks to start his own kingly streak. I wonder if Percival plays with a little bit more vigor in this game. A little bit more kind of get on the map, take map control, don't just play for the later game, which I think he really kind of went in with the idea of doing in that previous map. Catching the gas coming online. The barracks is in production. You're seeing the hatch gas and pool all coming through. STV going to come down the bottom right hand side. Pops, Marine in production, Command Center on the way, a couple Queens and the Zerglings coming over, and we do have our Overlord moving around a little bit here as well. It's just getting settled in for a little bit of time. So far so good. In these early stages, nothing too crazy just yet. Command Center is on the way up and get that factory going. Just going to be seeing our reactor coming on through, and the hatch, drone, and queen producing about from Solar. Link speed on the way up as well, as the Reaper is going to get a couple of shots off right there. Might get a little bit of damage done for a few moments, but nothing too crazy just yet. As our Zerglings will take the chance to go after the Reaper. And that back the other way. Hatch will take some shots. Obviously, Reaper coming through. Blood Queen's setting about. There's a couple of Hellions will be building as well as our starport comes online. Command Center coming through. Tech Lab onto the barracks. And get a bit of everything on the way up in these early stages. Link speed finishing shortly. The Queen continuing up as well. I get 2 Queens even, so 2 Queens on the way out right now. And a drone transferring over to that left-hand side onto that third hatchery for the next couple of moments as the extra drones building up. Queens and the link speed coming online as well. The cloaking coming through as the Banshee will continue to build. The Hellions will come up and online. Get a lot of that ready to go. The grenade pops the Queen back already, pushing that away the other side. The Hellions and the Reaper, will also move around and now step back to the center. And yeah, the couple Queens and the Overlords building into play for the moment. Grenade goes down, the Queen gets bunched backward as well once more. And again, we just have that barracks coming through and online here from Percival. Cloaking and the Banshee going to be a big part of what comes up next. As continue through with a lot of this, a few extra drones on the way through. The ladder's halfway done. 6 drones finishing soon. And obviously Solar wants to make sure these Hellions don't slip in. Solar sometimes is a bit sloppy game and lets these Hellions get a little bit too much done. So something he wants to just make sure, he stays ahead of here. Don't let anything go kind of wrong early. Make sure you kind of, like I say, staying ahead of things right now. Let's just have the Banshee around that right side. Gonna get one drone. The Queen coming across. Banshee chased away. Impact coming online with those engineering bays in production also. And yeah, just like upgrades on the side of Percival. Gets all of that on the go. Spire from Solar. Solar's been playing a lot of the mutas lately. The last few days, we've been seeing some of his games, watching some games of him versus Kira the other day, yesterday from the OSC mid-season playoffs, even from the winner bracket semi-finals. He actually played some cool muta stuff there as well. Had some very successful games, so it's very cool to see as the Hellions move up. The Queens do some damage. Fling's coming back from the other side. Again, that Baneling Nest is not far from being done. 1-1 upgrades and that stem still building behind. We just have the Queens again able to push the Hellions back for the moment. Start pushing those the other way. Spire halfway. Evo Chambers producing. Hellions on the way about as our Banshees. We'll try and hit the Queens for a little bit of effort. Again, the Queen's taking some damage. The Hellions and the Reaper coming back over. We still see our Creep Tumors going down once again in the center. It's just going to get that set up already. And these Creep Tumors still going down. Going to get 2 or 3 of them right now. The Zerglings will make their way up. And the Hellions and the Reaper have to pull themselves back. Once again, the Queen's going to be there. A little bit more damage being done. Still got our 1-1 upgrades and combat shield coming over. The Marines in production. The siege tanks and medevacs all about to finish. A little grenade going down as the Queens take some bops and fly up into the sky and get relocated by said Reaper grenades. Armory's halfway done. The factory is going to be on its way as well. It's just bringing that straight through at the moment. A couple of medevacs still making their way around as well, so a little bit of progress there. Let's take a chance to knock through a few Creep Tumors here, so again we take the opportunity to attack on forward, get some damage done. A little bit of that creep being cleaned out nice and quickly and early on as we work our way right towards this hatchery in the 4th base location. So that hatch already taking some pretty serious damage. The mutas fly in, a couple of SCVs do begin to drop, so damage being done right there as well. Now these Marines on that right side of that hatchery will begin to go after the hatch and get rid of it. And the mutas fly through, a couple of SCVs going down. The Banshees will take the opportunity to go in after a couple of those Creep Tumors. Sorry, a couple of those drones, but we'll not do too much just yet. Finally getting a couple more. As obviously we've lost 6 SCVs, but we're going to make up for that with the Banshee play so far. The mutas just stay out of that missile turret range. They can get some refineries. Got 1 Banshee left, and it's being chased. We'll just live for now. Obviously, a muta also will clear that up, so yeah, pretty much done with the Banshee play. The muta's obviously still controlling on the other side. We do have a push in the center here. On creep, I do not think this looks good for Percival, although he does have the upgrade lead. Solo does not need to attack this right now. He's keeping a lot of units back because of the Mutalisks, so it's not like we're kind of on the verge of a bunch of reinforcements showing up. So yeah, I think you can take your time about fighting it. We ran a few units in. I thought he was just trying to get a couple kills. What was a shame was he gave up a bunch of Banes to damage the Hellbats and then actually didn't get any of the kills, and now they got healed up by the medevacs. Playing Bane, thinking about if we want to fight or not. The mutas dive in, get rid of the first siege tank. Second tank will get some more shots off as well. Solar is moments away from 1-1 upgrades, so he's about to be way better off in terms of these trades, but it is only Marines now. With only Marines, it's going to be much tougher for Percival to keep pushing forward. Extra Banes on the way. I love the Thor in production, by the way. Give up some splash damage on the ground, but it helps to really control the mutas in the sky. It really changes a lot of the fights the mutas can dive on into. Stops them from clumping up to kind of make kind of particular kind of unit pickoffs as well, for example. So the more we can do in that regard, the happier and better off we'll be as well. As Marines step through and the Creep Tumors will take some more damage. Then 2-2 upgrades coming in on both sides. The Marines will go after the Queens. A bit more being done there. Just do have Widow Mines still joined up together. Drilling Claws halfway by. So Widow Mines reducing through. The barracks is still building. And Darling Bane Muta wants to take the dive onto that army, perhaps. Doesn't quite decide to do it just yet. He's trying to go for it again now. Bang, bang. Things taking damage. The Darling Bane Muta all together. Still just joining up for the moment. Command Center coming through as well. Those 2-2 upgrades are about to complete on the side of Percival. So again, that 2-2 finished way ahead of the 1-1. And that's an expected thing, you know, as the Zerg player when you're playing mutas. usually you delay your upgrades being as quick as they usually are in the game to make sure that you can get the mutas out. The upgrades come secondary to the Mutalisks, and as such, there are going to be upgrade timing windows where the Terran leads you, and that's one thing you just have to be very wary of, that obviously you're going to be fighting with that upgrade deficit, and sometimes try to, take the fights when you do not have that upgrade deficit. If you can time that out well, then, you can be a very strong Zerg player despite having that upgrade deficit at certain points of the game. So, then clean up on that left-hand side. He is a 5-base Zerg right now. Not a lot of creep spread, though, I will say. And the lack of creep obviously is an issue for the longevity of this game, because if the creep is not up, you're going to be a very unsafe Zerg, and there's, the more fights that happen without creep to protect your bases, the more trouble you're going to end up being in, the more pressure the Terran can apply, and the more difficult it is for you as Solar to play into the later stages altogether. As you see the Ling Bane here taking the chance to step up, step through, and for now at least we'll be looking just fine. In position, pushes the mutas back the other direction for a little bit of time. Still got the 3-3 coming about, the Thor building, Marauders in production, Widow Mines on the way. Command Center going to come in over on that right side as well. Mutalisk going to come through, aiming for a bunch of different missile turrets here. And just clearing up the access into the main base. Taking some Thor shots, doesn't take too many, so kind of okay for the moment. Pull back, a couple more reactors will go down. Get a bit more done with the mutas still. On the bottom side, actually going to get rid of this base, and the push on the right side might get a base too. We actually pick up and leave the base alive on the bottom. Solar does get the cancel on the hatchery right side. Keeps himself on 5 bases then. The Meta's not doing much against all of the missile turrets on the other side. Maybe could have got the medevacs that were flying across. Maybe an opportunity missed. And Solar loses a few drones and tries to recalibrate his setup. He's got the +2 flyer attack coming through, additional mutas in production. Maxed out. What can Solar do in these next few moments? That Widow Mine somehow doesn't get a crazy connection. That's pretty reasonable, all things considered. Thought that was going to look a lot worse. I think it was just targeting that one Ling that ended up on the edge, so didn't hit too much overall. We lose one muted as it's just straightly flying forward. And again, cancel on this right side hatchery, not letting that come up. First of all, a comfortable 5-base Terran play at the moment. As we fly on through, a couple Widow Mine shots will go off. Better fight from Solar. He actually going to clean out a lot, and we'll be able to chase for the medevacs after, including that full medevac. That Thor going to go down. Also, we do get that medevac, right? Oh my god, that medevac at units inside. We do take out the drop in the center as well. This medevac should have never gone away. Solar was just looking elsewhere. He didn't micro after it, so misses a little bit of supply gain potentially, but honestly, still very good for him. That was a great fight, a proper pushback where he really killed a lot of the Terran forces, put himself in a much better position. Adrenal Glands and 3-3 coming through with the Kindness Plane, so even going to get Ultra as a big upgrade for Solar's army later in this game now. Something that really kind of makes him a lot sturdier on the ground, but he is going to be up against the Ghosts, so there are already going to be the Ghosts available from Percival. Having those on his side will help him out in a big way as well, obviously. That's into that bottom left corner. Bio Thor moving about. A bit of Ling Bane moving through as well. There's now have the 3-3 upgrades, the Kindness Plane coming through. And the army's still trying to split in a couple different directions. Ling's running forward. Widow Mine goes off. Just going to get in after the medevacs there. As we have Ling Bane on the right-hand side, Ultra as well, pushing through. The couple of Thors firing away. The Ultra's going to jump on top. The Lings and the Thor Ultra together going to get rid of that Thor. The Bane's getting rid of all the Marines. It's going to be massive. Now we catch these Ghosts out just in the middle of the map. Another great fight for Solar. Percival took a lot of good fights this game. He did a lot of controlling, but the last couple of fights have been all about Solar, as Solar's been able to take just kind of fights in one location at a time, swarms onto those armies, and has been able to get it done. Very nicely done. At this point, I don't know if Percival can hold on defensively, because he just lost a lot in back-to-back fights. Money is not there in the bank account. Army is not here to play defense right now. Banes and Ultras running at you. Mutas to dominate the skies if the Ultras do enough to clean up enough Marines. I don't even think we necessarily need the Mutas here. We do snipe down the Ultras. We run into the natural. Gets a bit messy, but the Ghosts are having to live to retreat. A sub-100 supply, and Solar is finally going to get the map win on Golden Aura to take the King ship from Percival and become our new King of the Hill here. King of the Hill Kinger here today. Kinger? Does that work as a word? Probably not. Become our new king for the day, for the moment. As Percival will be a one-map king and done. And, yeah, match 7 goes the way of Solar. And Solar will be king going into our middle point of the day. Match 8 is the middle match. The 7 maps before, the 7 maps after. So we are in the middle of the King of the Hill right here. With this next game coming through in a few moments, we will get ready for Solar versus whoever the opposition may be. That's what we've got to figure out next, to see who that next player will be. See if we're moving off the Korean server, see if we're going to stick to the Korean server. We do not know yet. Just waiting on info on whether we are expecting the server hop or not. Looks like it's going to be Rebellion, so a Protoss player coming up, which means we do also stick to the Korean server here. Take a couple moments, get settled down, get ready to roll out into this next game. Do. Bam bam bam. Bam bam bam. Hope everyone is doing well again. Thanks for joining us for some action, some content. Good to see you guys, and thanks for tuning in to some King of the Hill action. Like I say, good to see you all. Good to have you with us. Been fun so far. As we are readying up into this next Mapperino. Thank you for the subs on YouTube, by the way. We just hit 46,800 YouTube subs. We're 200 away from 1,000 marker. The slowest road of all time to 50k continues to be alive. If you're out there, you're not a subscriber on the YouTube channel, consider hitting that sub button, guys. Like I say, it's a slow road, but we are making it to 50k YouTube subs. We are getting there, step by step. We will hit the 50k. I will make sure of it. I'll also make sure we get into this game as we have ourselves the new king. In the top right corner of the map, this is going to be the red Zerg player representing Falcons. It is Solar. Bottom left-hand side, the blue Protoss is going to be Mr. Rebellion. Rebellion the challenger. Another one of these players you'll see a lot of the time in the online cups, in the first round, second round, sometimes. Green Protoss player has never really hit that kind of pro level. But is competitive, is at that GM level. Obviously against Solar is going to be a hefty underdog, but it's why King of the Hill is fun. King of the Hill invites, you know, the underdogs. You get to pick your map, right? You know, your opponent gets one veto out of a big map pool, so then you get to pick your map. You get to, you only need to win one map. You know, it's the perfect time to sneak in a funky build. Like I say, the King of the Hill format is designed for volatility. It's designed for the favorite to not necessarily be king all the way through. It's designed to have that upset potential, and all of that's very exciting. So, excited to see where this goes as we get this underway. The hatch gas and pool getting set up, the gateway and the probe coming about. Just get a couple of moments here initially as the gateway comes online, gets going, and a couple of drones on the way up as well on the side of Solar. Moves back out the other way. Again, the Nexus and the Cybercore coming through. Oh, cheeky pylon over here. I mean, we are setting up very normally at home, so I'm not sure what the pylon aims to do. That's so interesting. What does this pylon achieve? Is it just a corner of the base that Solar never has a reason to go to, and so eventually you just warp adepts or something there? That would be crazy. But honestly, plausible at the same time. I mean, unless an Overlord goes, but why would an Overlord fly over here? Because why would you put an Overlord between your own natural and main base? Wow. That's a very cheeky little position. Yeah, honestly, kind of cool if it works, and if it doesn't work, then whatever. I think the biggest issue might be, is if you run I mean, even if you run the Queen forward to drop a creep tumor, maybe the creep spreading would spot it. If you creep tumor between main and natural, it's not a lot of distance between the main and natural though, so maybe you don't prioritize a creep tumor to connect them as well. I don't know, man. Twilight Council coming up. What if we just warp Dark Templar into the main base? Is that the play? Oh, it's disgusting and I love it. I love it, Rebellion. You're the underdog. You're coming in with a cheeky one-map build. This is what King of the Hill is all about. Let's see if we can get a cheeky win with this setup. You know what usually happens 9 out of 10 times in this scenario? Is that you end up in this position and it looks good, and then the Zerg sees it last second, and they just kill it, and the Dark Templar never come out, and the entire thing gets denied, and it just is over, you know? So I'm kind of hoping and praying that this sneaky little pylon in the main base of Solar does not go that direction. There's the creep tumor, by the way. Yeah, still out of reach. He creeps slightly to the left side, covers some of this. Yeah, it's still visual. Ooh, ooh! He clicked up there with the lings and he turned them around. I'm pretty sure he clicked over here with the lings, then turned them around. He just clicked here as well, but I'm not sure what with. I think he's going to run out the front. Adept going to be protecting. Solar's obviously a little bit afraid of what's going on. Dark Shrine finished. It's warping time, Rebellion. Do it. Make the DTs. It's worked. 4 Dark Templar into the main base. And if they just walk onto the spore in the main... Oh, this could be nasty. There's going to be 2 spores, so 1 spore could come from elsewhere. DTs walk straight into this main base. They're going to click that spore crawler, and Solar didn't see it in time to block it, so the DTs are here. Now the next spore will come across, but there's a good chance we can deny that too. Main hatchery is on its way down. There's the spore crawler coming over. What is... No, why are we lagging? No! Oh my god. Oh no! No, we got the surround on the spore during our lag spike. No! Oh my god, we missed the most exciting moment of it. Oh, and it all goes wrong because he kills nothing. What? Of all the times for the Korean server to say you, that was the biggest moment it could have said it. Like, what the hell, Korean server? What the hell? Not cool. What a way to kill the hype, I know! Lags and we come back and the spore's surrounded and defended. Like, oh, bro. Not cool at all. Green server Zerg biased. Yeah, he just, he protected that other spore with his life and that's what he needed. I wonder if he could have got the DTs obviously dove for the spore. I wonder if they just stayed on the hatchery. I mean, the Queens had transfusions though, right? Shadow Stride on the way. I love that we're going to commit to DT Blink to try and make something of this. I mean, you got to try and do something in this scenario, right? As the DTs will come around, they'll find themselves a drone there, so a little grab. But yeah, the sneaky pylon in the main, unfortunately, has not been the success story that we wanted it to be. Roach is coming up, Roach speed coming through, +1 and charge coming over. The Observer is on its way through. The couple of gates in the Nexus coming about as well. As we just have our pylons coming through, the Assimilator coming up, Archon and the Prism coming by. The couple of additional DTs coming online also. 7 Roaches and that Overlord speed all coming up with the Roach speed as part of this as well. Well, the Overseer back into the main base, going to go check around over there for a little bit. Try and see a bit of what's going on. As the Archon is about to finish, the Prism is going to be done soon. We get that armor upgrade building by. additional gateways coming up as well, as we just have the Overseer moving through. The couple of Archons in the front going to load into the Warp Prism, and we're going to take a step out onto the map as the Prism goes to the upper right corner and starts to journey over there to try and get some work done with the Archons. But at this point, we're building a massive Roach Ravager, and Solo, I think, could probably just attack if he wanted to and have a very good time. He's got a lot of army supply in comparison, but I guess we will see what happens. +1 missiles in that Roach speed now finishing. The Roaches move into position. The Archons have to load up, back away, Spore in position as well. Is the third Sneaky Pile in the main you can just do nothing? Yeah, it's almost like Sneaky Piles in the main might not actually be a good strategy. Especially if your strategy completely relies on it as well. Like, it's one thing for your Sneaky Pylons, those piles missed. It's one thing for the Sneaky Pylon to be like, well, I'll get 2 Adepts and do a bit of harassing damage. It's another thing to be like, I need these 4 DTs to kill a main base, or else I'm screwed. And that very much so was what this version of Rebellion's build was. As the Roach Ravager comes back over, the Archons come back through, continue to chase those Roaches and Lings gathering up. We do just see the couple of gates taking some shots. I mean, there's just not enough damage. And the problem with the Archons, as usual, is it's so tough for the Archons to get in reach. So you can do a lot of kiting backwards here as Solar and into a good concave. The Archons are going to do some splash to the Roaches, but not a lot, because it's not like they're the smallest units in the world. I think it's been pretty good from Rebellion. He's keeping the Archons alive, and he's given himself a chance. I think it's just the reality is that we're getting these Archons low now. They're going to start actually dying. And with the Archons actually going down, this becomes an impossible task to keep on holding. 17 army supply in a dream. 1-1 upgrades now get countered by the +1 missiles that just finished up as well. A couple of files still dropping on through. The probes in trouble. Hey, DT show up. Yo, where's our Overseer, Solar? Apparently non-existent, so we forgot to bring an Overseer. There they are. A couple of Overseers show up, and well, we already knew that they were going to be coming, so Rebellion morphs the DTs into Archons already in preparation. And now we get ready to send this, as this couple of Archons is going to be in big trouble. Going down quickly. The Corrosive Bile is going to hit that Archon morphing as well. Can't dodge while morphing. GG. It was a good try from Rebellion. I actually like the build. Obviously just not good enough in the end. Let's take a rewind to that freaking defense, because, you know, it got taken away from us with the lag. I've gone like a step too far. I went like a step too far. Ugh. Like here. So DTs get rid of this spore. They go on the hatchery. I wonder if, I mean, the Queens have transfusions. He sees the spore. He runs at it. He gets 2 DTs on it, but we can transfuse. Yeah, I wonder if we would have just been better if we just hit the hatchery from like over here. Send like one. Yeah. Yeah. GG's. Well played by Solar. Stayed calm in a moment of panic, and kept it together to get us through to a victory. Ojumi is going to be the next player. He's going to be playing against the next king, which is going to be Solar, obviously, staying on as king for a second map now. 2 maps won, third map of his coming up, and Jumi will be the opposition as we get that ready to go in a second, guys. So just hopping on over to NA. We should be good to go in a minute or 2. Solar pushed his DTs off it. You've never seen that before? You've never seen the DT push off? Oh, have I got StarCraft history to teach you guys? I can't find the video. Why can't I find the highlight I'm looking for? God damn it. Why is everything so difficult in this day and age? There was a Nurture versus DT defense against Yonghua in the Home Story Cup 5 finals that was like, he literally like right-clicks around his hatchery to force the Dark Templar off. It was sick. It is in Game 5. Why can't I find a clip of this? They're all links to Twitch VODs. I can't find it at all. God damn it. That was the sick. That was the OG DT push off defense. Someone can find the clip. Someone probably knows what I'm on about. Someone can find the clip. I appreciate it. I can't find it googling for some reason, unfortunately. But it was Nurture Yonghua Game 5 of the Home Story Cup 5 finals, and yeah, last game of the series. Sick DT defense. Nurture wins the tournament. It was very cool. Like, the DTs were literally right-clicking Nurture's hatchery, and he mass surrounds it with all of his units, and he, like, right-click spams his hatchery, and, like, 4 DTs get pushed off his hatch, and he saves it until the detection is up. It was a really sick moment. I don't know why I can't find a VOD of it. I'm sure there was, like, at least a clip of it or something. What's up, I am DKR. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I've not mentioned it yet today, guys. If you enjoy the stream and you want to support... and you want to be awesome like I am TKR, you can also hit that Prime sub. Appreciate it. Watching for years, keeping SCTU alive. Forgot I had a Prime sub as normally your YouTube watcher. Well, even better. Thank you for taking the time to step on over to Twitch and drop the Prime sub down. I super appreciate it. Helps a bunch. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to, like I say, step out your way to come and drop the sub over. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I found it now. Right. Hang on. Alright. But we're gonna watch this together, guys. Because it's
not going after it.
Alright, just while the ZVP starts, because I'm sure nothing's gonna happen, right?
No.
On the way.
Oh my!
Halfway done.
Now
All 4 go to this third base. 2 sport crawlers.
Yeah, this is the OG
so send
defense.
one to the natural as well, please, Yonghua. Please.
wait for it. Go to the bases. Well, he's gonna get the spore caller, and he can snipe the hatchery. This could do some severe damage.
So sniping a hatchery is great,
4
but in the
DTs.
end, as Mr. Bitter always says, that's still only 300 minerals that you really take
4
out.
DTs.
That's lost time mining, though. I mean, it's not bad.
No.
And it's larva, too. You can't forget that.
Still
Pushes them off!
Oh my
What?
god, Nurcho!
What?
No way,
What?
Nurcho! Nurcho
Oh
keeps the
my
hatchery
God.
alive!
Pimpest
Wow.
play of the tournament. That was it. You guys just saw it. That was
Yeah, sick moment. The OG. The OG. That one? Yeah, but it was probably that video. I found it on my other PC. You know what it is? I was Googling it and it wouldn't come up at all, and I just searched on YouTube and it came straight away. Don't know why I thought that. That was clutch. Yeah, it was really clutch. It was really freaking clutch. Yeah, super clutch. Way back when. The OG StarCraft 2 days, man. Crazy. So there you go. A little bit of StarCraft history for you all. Hey, what's up, Crispy? 1313, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 10-month resub from the Prime. Wardy, and SE2 streamer, so lovely. Thank you so much for the kind message and the kindest sub. Appreciate the Prime. Thank you so much. You didn't know you can push units like that? I think because he kept spam clicking on the hatchery. Between the DT's attacks, the DT's got like pushed a little bit. I don't even, honestly, I don't know how it worked, but it is a thing. I think because like, I think it was just like the DT's between attacks got moved a little bit because you're basically forcing the units between them, so they kind of got shoved. It was weird. Yeah, it was a very strange occurrence. What's funny is it was really sick as a save, but beforehand, Roddy's like, I don't even think it matters if he kills the hatchery. But then everyone's like, oh, it's so sick because he saved the hatchery. Which it was very sick. And nowadays, defending against DTs last second with like a spore showing up and stuff is like so normal. Obviously, like, you know, it would still be exciting if someone clutches a low HP one hit from death hatchery with like a surround like that, but yeah. Back then, like, this was not even like in the realm of possibility, you know. DT's warping in as Jumi has played the Proxy Dark Shrine, and he's going to play into the Shadow Stride here. Chrono boosting up and getting underway. And this is going to be seeing the interesting little scenario, right, where we've got ourselves basically the Shadow Stride coming through. This is like a this is like a classic Rogue throwback. The classic versus Rogue throwback from BlizzCon. Oh, yeah, that was a sick moment too. And Classic surely had no hope. How would he ever beat Rogue? And then, boom, you blink into the DTs. Game 5 of the series as well. Crazy business. So Shadow Strike can be done. Jumi is literally just stacking DTs, by the way. Like, he's got the bare minimum at home to hold on. The problem is the DTs are going to show up and there's going to be a lair finished. I mean, what I don't love is, like, they're going to start moving forward now. These DTs have massive damage output. To be fair, if Solo doesn't have units ready, this could still be a problem, right? Where if he doesn't have the units at home, like, DTs can out-DPS a lot of things. So, there is a possibility here that maybe the Silco... We don't have high ground vision, right? So we can't even blink into the high ground. No, don't attack creep team over all things. Absolutely not. There's a spore here. We're going to blink in. It's going to blink in on top of these units, and like I say, they out-DPS things. Roaches are dying quickly. Solar is going to wish he never saw DTs again after this raid, I think. Or maybe he'll feel okay about it because he might clean up. But man, 2 games back-to-back, and the pros players are choosing cheeky DT strats against him. How much can he kill? He kills nearly 2 of the DTs there, not quite in the end. I actually think if he hit a high HP DT first, the second DT would have died because he got a few shots off. And I think the first one was overkill. Fun from Jumi. Like I say, the start was cool with the blink onto the roaches, but there's just not enough of a follow-up there, and unfortunately that's probably just going to do it, as Bling Roach will be there to push the DTs back the other way. We'll kill this hatchery. Oh, that's a nice little win. We are quite literally running around the map with DTs. What Solo really needs to do is just stay stable, build up a mass of roaches, and if he just goes across the map with detection, it's going to be very tough for Jumi to be in an okay place. Jumi is following up, +1 in charge on the way, Immortal production starting. And he's getting a second robo even as well. Natural come through, the DTs, they're just going to get caught. Like I say, the moment you have like a lot of units on the map and overseers readily available, it's going to become so tough to make things happen like this. And just have the couple of DTs running away over here. He's going to have DT PTSD or PDTSD. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah, it's not good for Jumi. To be fair, it's like, do you have PTSD if it happens multiple times, but you have a good time against it? He might be dreaming of Dark Templars, and he's just falling asleep. He's like, oh, I love it when they build DTs against me. I never win so many games as when DTs get built. You know? It's like, it's actually just the complete opposite. Biles knocked down those force fields. We are not with charge yet, so a lot of those zealots are nigh on useless. Like just being unable to close the distance on the roaches is obviously very, very weak. We force field the roaches in, but I don't think that's really an issue. Sola kind of wants to be in and amongst those tech units. Jumi will say GG, and Sola knocks down another Protoss with them. That pesky Dog Templar not being so pesky today, huh? Sola keeping the Zerg dreams alive today. It's been a very Zergy King of the Hill as we hit match 9, or past match 9, and there's only been the only 2 games won by not a Zerg today. Were the 2 games at the start that were TVP and PvP. Unbelievable. After watching ASL nowadays, you feel like Zealots are just too weak. But you've watched StarCraft 2, right, and seen where Zealots are freaking insane, right? Like, we're not... Like, we're talking about Brood War or something there, because doing enough and not kind of completely being OP or just kind of shrinking away. That balance is very hard to meet. It does get met a lot in the high-level games, but, like, there's a lot of times where the lower level, you know, there's a lot of the times where the Zealots just absolutely dominate, and sometimes they just get absolutely dominated in return, right? So they fall off when numbers increase. Yeah, but Zealots are still an amazing unit to have in front of everything. Like at that point where they fall off, it's like, well, yes, you probably shouldn't be able to just mass mineral-based units and succeed. Unless you're a Terran, because clearly that's balanced. But, like, yeah, there's a point where Zealots need to be supported, because at the end of the day, like, you know, they're very good at certain points, and then, yeah, they fall off, but they're still good in the armies, right? And at the end of the day, like, they're such good run-by units, too. Like, they can do so much running by. You need such a good defense against them so frequently, so... We're getting another ZVZ, guys. Demi's coming out to play. He's going to take on Solar for match 10 of the day in the King of the Hill. And see what this looks like as we get ready to go here on Tokamak. Solar's feasting, man. Let's see what he looks like in some ZVZ. Second ZVZ of the day. I don't even know where we found all these Zerg players from, honestly. This is ridiculous. Where do these guys all come from? Absolutely crazy, if you ask me. Can't quite believe it. Alrighty, we are counting down into Tokamak. Getting ready to go. Let's hop in game. Top right-hand side will be the challenger. The red Zerg player here is Demi, as he takes on the blue Zerg in the bottom left. 3 map wins in a row, if I'm not mistaken. It is going to be Solar from Falcons, looking to make it to 4 wins in a row and be the most winning player of the day thus far. You guys know one of the first ever events that I ran that was like a little bit larger was actually King of the Hill. It was called the SC2, I think it was the SC2 Improved Summer League. The very first one that we did. 2013. It was before 2013. Like it was so far back. Maybe it was Winter League. Did we do a Summer League 2012? We did a Winter League 2012. I wonder if this isn't even on like Wikipedia actually. Surely it's got to be on Wikipedia. Maybe it's not, man. One of our first ever WardiTV, well, it wasn't WardiTV then, it was SC2 Improve. But one of our first ever tournaments was this, was a King of the Hill, where basically every week you could come and play King of the Hill. So you would come along, you'd play King of the Hill, and basically you'd earn like 2 points for a win, or if you're the last man standing, you get 3 points, and basically your points qualified you into the finals. And now that I've just thought about this, I can't for the life of me find a Wikipedia page about it, which is extremely rare. Wikipedia has everything. Is there a world that Wikipedia doesn't have the OG SC2 Improved Summer League? Not even sure. I wonder if it wasn't a Summer League. I wonder if that's why. When was it? When would it have been? Maybe it was a... I don't know when it was, actually. I can't for the life of me think when it was. Must have been before this one. I'm sure it was like summer 2012. SC2 Improved Winter League. $120 prize pool. Had 5 qualifiers, 4 groups, and a playoff bracket. So sick. Those were the good old days, man. Those were the good old days, huh? Back in my day. Maybe I really can't find this. Feelings, anyway, I'm gonna go and hit a few of this hatchery here. I'm really doing some reminiscing today. Kind of funny. Really doing some reminiscing. Reminiscing. Things coming through, a couple of Banes coming up on either side. The few Lings going to go jump onto the hatchery. Roach on the way up as well. I was just thinking back of when the last time I did a King of the Hill, and we did this a few times. Like I said, I just can't remember when it was. But, yeah, way back when. Anyways, Lings are fighting, a couple of Banes are going to run through. We do see a couple of Lings dodging away. That hatchery goes down. And Demi loses his third base. That is not a good sign in a ZVZ to be the one losing your third hatch. Unless you have an amazing counterattack planned here, which on less army supply than your opponent, you probably do not. Things are not looking good if your name's Demi right now. It's looking very good right now for Solar. He's going to be loving this position thus far. A couple of Lings still chasing. The Zergling gets chased back. Roach hatchery on the way through. We had a few drones, we had a few Zerglings. Had a couple of Lings getting in there, and we got a few Roaches and the Overlords building up as well. So we see the Lings going back around the other side. Roach Roaring is halfway done for the moment. Ling Roach coming through, the rest of the Roach is coming up. Evo Chamber on the way out. I mean, obviously, Solar heading into Roach versus Roach game right now is going to be heavily favored with no third hatch. That's just such a big reinvestment. Not just money you're missing out on, but then obviously lava you're missing out on as well. And, yeah, Demi, one of the OG guys in a lot of these OSC events, was always around in the OSC Championships and a lot of OSC tournaments way back when. Is unfortunately kind of meeting someone which I think is just going to be very good against him right now, and Solar a lot better practice than Demi is, I imagine. As the Roaches show up, those couple of Banelings will go down, and this is going to be a cleanup here. Roaches continue through, a couple of Queens in some trouble, and we continue to chase our way forward. Ling's trying to get around, and this really should just be everything that we are looking for right now. Just like that, that's going to be GG for Solar to take 4 in a row. And Solar is on the right track. Excuse me a second, guys. I need to, I want to try and find... I need to try and retweet something. I'm still trying to find a player for tomorrow's WardiTV October event, so trying to figure that out. Solar with the instant veto. I think he's about to play Nicorect. I think Solar and Nicorect may be about to come up in a moment or two, guys, as we move from that CVZ match 10 straight into match 11. So on the final stretch here, guys, 5 maps remain in the OSC King of the Hill. The last few maps have just stormed by. Obviously, Jumi, Rebellion, all playing some quicker games. The ZVZ pretty quick as well. So the last 3 maps have been speedy. We'll see if that sticks up. It's CVT again now, so I'm not sure if it will. Let's see what Nicorect has planned on Ancient Cistern. This might be another muta opportunity for Solar. He's been enjoying those mutas lately. Let's see what happens. As we get into this game again, just going to take a moment to sell out. If you're enjoying this games today, do consider supporting the channel. You can follow on Twitch, or if you want to support on YouTube, like and subscribe. 50% of people are still not subscribed on the YouTube. People are tuning in every day, listening to me tell them to subscribe and not subscribing. Do what I tell you to. Or don't, but if you do not subscribe already and you want to support freely, the subscriptions really help. The YouTube has seen a lot of success lately, and it's simply because the subscription numbers going up, the like button is being clicked more. YouTube sees people interacting. YouTube says, ooh, stream good, and gives the stream to more people. So please do consider checking that out on the YouTube. Obviously, if you want to support further, you can do all the different things like Prime subscribing on Twitch. There's YouTube memberships and other Twitch subs as well. So you guys can check out all of those options. We appreciate you massively for tuning in and joining us today in general. Appreciate you guys. And we get ready to go into this next game. Wardy, how come Rogue, Kira, and Spirit are in the same group at TLMC 15? At TLMC? I have no idea. That was like 2 weeks ago. I have no clue. Why should they not be in the same group? What was interesting about it? Imagine many that aren't subscribed aren't even logged into YouTube. That's a great point. That's probably a thing. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. You mean Wardy October? Probably because they told me which days they could play, and those were the days they could play. If I had to make a guess. I had a massive meltdown earlier because I started sending out the groups for the October event, and then I had this moment where I was like, I got like 9 players in sending out the info and stuff, and then I was like, wait, I already told this story earlier, so sorry if you're hearing it a second time. I was like, wait, you told me you could only play Group A, and I was like, why am I putting you in Group B? I'm so sorry. So I was like, I'll fix that. Hang on. And then I fixed it, and I started sending out the messages again, and I was like, wait a second. You said you could only play Groups A and B, and you're in Group C. And I was like, oh my god, it's all gone wrong. I had like 3 players' dates written down incorrectly, which is really bad because I basically, you know, certain players had basically said, hey, can I play this day? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, because I've been looking at the information I'd written down, which was wrong, which made it really awkward, because then I told people they could play certain groups already, you know, when I asked them their availability, which was just not true, because so it was a thing. So, I've literally never messed this up before. I don't think I've ever messed up the writing down of people's availability. And the fact I'd written down it wrong multiple times, I don't know what happened. Like, genuinely shocked that this had been a thing. Was mad. Was actually a little bit mad. So yeah, I had a little bit of a thing sorting stuff out. And then, after I actually did fix everything, one of the players who originally became a problem because of my own mistake then can't play the playoffs, so they had to forfeit. So now I'm down a player for tomorrow's group. And if they'd forfeited beforehand, the entire thing wouldn't have mattered. It would have been okay. So, yeah. It's been a rough day on the WardiTV October setting up. We got there in the end. It's just been a bit of a rough day. But yeah. The groups are mostly made... The TLDR, I don't know even why I went into this, but the TLDR's groups are basically made off of players' availability and trying to balance races so we don't have 3 races in one group, basically. What's up, Face ML? Thank you so much for the 5-month resub on the Prime. Love the stream. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for priming us up. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, now I need another player. So if anyone has a StarCraft 2 player that wants to play some StarCraft tomorrow, preferably Terran or Zerg, it's going to get to the point where I'll accept a Protoss even, but if you've got Terran or Zerg that wants to play and you know someone, then, you know, give me a message, because I don't know who to message anymore. And I'm starting to feel like tomorrow I'm going to show up and it's going to be like 3 best of 3s instead of 6. Like, that's what tomorrow is turning into, because I'm getting to the point where, like, I'm too beyond trying to fix it. So, yeah, do they have to be good? I mean, they have to be at least reasonably good. Like, I don't want you to die at like 2 minutes. I want you to die at like 5 minutes at least, you know? There's no more point in me casting a game that ends in 2 minutes. Like, if you cast in 5 minutes, we can make a story out of it. But like, you know when someone shows up and they lose to the first Reaper, like that can't be the thing that happens, you know? So yeah, you think your silver in 1v1 might be a bit out of reach in that regard. Might be a bit out of reach in that regard. Lag coming up, drones and the overlords coming through. We have the smoke coming online, barracks are building. You know, 5 minutes in. I don't know why I'm going so off topic lately. Like, I feel like, I think today, like I said, I had some stress with EWC payment still being messed around with. Had to do a whole nother thing for it that's not even going to work probably. So today was just a stressful morning. So I feel like my brain is not fully in super hardcore casting mode. So you guys take me off topic and my brain's just like, let's talk about anything else. He's going to fight. Only got a couple crypt tumors going down. The queen's going to be right there. As we're going to be seeing the couple of banshees on the right side. We'll go hitting the hatch. Got some damage done, and I put some shots out right there for the moment too. A couple of Evo chambers in the infestation pit coming online from Solar, as the banshees will continue to go in after the hatch. So damage being done. A little bit of a few shots coming through. We have the Hellions gathering up. A few roaches are going to gather together. And those couple banshees going to try and get up that right-hand side as they will try to poke their way through this mineral line. A couple of drones that are obviously going to be up for grabs, maybe. And as Nicorect will find a couple more workers there so far. Nice transfusion, saves that queen. I thought there was a dead queen right there, but nope, not the case. Now we're going to turn it into a dead Banshee, so the other queens show up, get the KO, and that is lovely. The Hellions don't make any progress either, so they get turned back the other way. 1-1 upgrades, building on the engineering bays. Medivacs, armory on the way up. Add the rest of the marine tank medevac on. And yeah, that armory is still coming through as well. Just going to see a few Hellions up into the center. Fatal Nest coming about, currently about halfway done. The Hive is continuing online as well. Going to see the Hellions and the Reaper continuing through as we take a couple of moments. Again, 1-1 on Combat Shield. All building up for now. Has Solo lost a map this week? What, you mean just this week in total? In all competitions, or you mean just in King of the Hill? Because in King of the Hill, no, otherwise he wouldn't be king, but he's actually had a pretty good week on stream, hasn't he? We've cast him a lot, he's won a bunch of stuff. He's going to lose this hatchery, though. That's something he doesn't win on, as Roach Ravager shows up to play defense. We will not be able to get enough battles in that tank immediately. Does get it in the end. Marines, no combat shield is going to be one reason why they're a little bit not as tanky as usual against those Roaches. We will get rid of the second tank, and Solo will just about hang on. Man, if I had a penny for every time it looked like Solo was about to lose his EVT, we might be able to fund a weekly cup on it, basically. I mean, the man looks like he's about to die in this matchup so often. And if he just survives until later, he's then so freaking good. And like, he loses the 4th hatch here. Like, this is not good for him. He is playing against not a super aggressive Terran, but like, you know, we're not 8-raxing right now. But like, we're coming with wave 2 already here as Nicorect. So he's going for a second wave. Solo's trying to get to Ultra Cavern. Let's see if he's going to make a nearly dead kind of survival play once more. Because like I say, that seems to be a specialty here in the ZVT. Queen stemming up, tank gets sieged. The Queen going to be jumped on. We are going to see the Roach Ravager coming through, and a couple of shots towards this army. Marines going to take some extra hits. Corrosive Vials will get rid of the siege tank eventually. Again, takes a while to get rid of them and lets the Ravagers be taken down by the Marines. Nicorect able to hold his own there for a moment. Now these couple of Medivacs move away. I can't believe Nicorect picked Ancient Cistern, by the way. This is a map that is very good for Zerg later on. But it is, it kind of has some good pushing positions and tank sieging positions for the Terran. I wouldn't say Nicorect's really playing to kind of utilize those so much right now, but this also might just be the fact he got rid of the 4th so easily that now he just feels like he should go as best he can. Two on the way up. The upgrades ahead for the Terran player. That will make these Ultras a little squishy for a while still. Squishy, when I say squishy, squishier than you think Ultras will be against bio units. That is a thing. We have got the 4th base coming up. Nicorect looks to play a longer game with that 4th command center coming online. Left-hand side, army over there. Ah, no one's moving. No one's watching the army on the left. So we got some bio over here that tries to move up. Doesn't do too much just yet, as now we see the Lingers going to wrap around. So this drop gets cleaned up. That Medivac will go down. This is a good defense from Solar, and we are going to force a Ghost Academy with Ultras popping soon. Nicorect is going to admit that he is going to need himself the Ghosts to help him out in these late stages. Alright, so bomb in the sky, just hitting that Medivac. 3-3 coming up, couple libs coming through. Planetary Fortress finishing very shortly. The extra tech labs coming by. But now, as the bio takes a moment to step forward, a couple of Cryptumers going down. The Baneling's taking damage. Queen goes down as well. Now a couple more Corrosive Vials coming into play. It's going to be seeing a couple of Banes still stepping forward. Ravager Ling coming through. Bio going to turn. We're going to lift up into a couple more Medivacs once more. Nicorect losing a lot, and this is where Solo starts to look so much more comfortable and confident in this later stage of the game. He's got the techier units up and on field, and he just starts to win fights. It starts to look so much better for him. It's just a typical Solo game, isn't it? Like, you're losing, you're dying, you're in trouble, and you got to your tech, and you just win. Because that's what Solo does. Like, it's crazy, because other Zergs have such a better early stage of the game, and then they get to their tech, and they don't just win. I feel like Terrans really just think they're about to kill Solo so much that then the tech kicks in and it's all of a sudden they're like, oh, but I was winning, no? It's like almost like Solo plays them into that situation. He plays them into that belief that they're going to be okay. Now the command center come down in the front there, at least try to. Solo's setting up to maybe a bigger attack now. looking to attack into the Terran, which has obviously not been the case so far. It's always been Nicorach moving into him. Nicorach's not ready for this. Fungal growth on that army is going to be deadly, and Nicorach just did not see this at all for a while. Fungals are huge, and that's going to be a massive attack in. Battles on the Liberators. There's a couple of Libs that will live through this, and some of the Ravages still getting beat up on. But the Ultras are through, and Nicorach's going to pull away the drop from the top side, which honestly maybe had a bit of potential or hope. He's going to pull that back as we do see a few more battles, get rid of another Liberator. 11 SCVs dead so far doesn't even seem so bad compared to what this might end up being. These Ultras need to probably turn into that mineral line rather than chasing Bio up into the main mineral lines, or the main base I should say. This base has to be lifted. And Solo will reinforce to try to run up to the top, but the Bio that came in from that double drop I mentioned shows up, and that's going to force those Ultras to go the other way. Somehow it doesn't kill any of those Ultras, so all of them get away even if they're just on low HP. Is pretty incredible. Just gonna run up once again. Lib's on the right side, and Solo's like, well, I'm actually gonna attack from the left, although he'll run into the Lib zones because it's just looking so good for him. Quick corrosive files coming down with the Ravages that still remain. I mean, this base is gonna go down. Nicorach is gonna go down. Solo is gonna go to 5 in a row, and Nicorach will not get it done as the challenger. Man, again, Solo he survives. He gets the tech. He wins. Like I say, it's almost scripted at this point because it just happens every single time. I mean, I guess it kind of is scripted. It almost feels like that's how he wants to play the matchups, which is kind of crazy in its own right, to be honest. Kind of crazy. What about Ultras changed? Nothing about Ultras changed. It was more the fact that I'd imagine it's because Banelings are a bit better, so going into Banelings, or having Banelings kind of, makes the Ultras better, and a lot of Baneling styles you can get into Ultras more easily, because the Banes are still supporting nicely, and because Ghosts are light, you don't want to build Ghost too quickly, because the Banes can kill the Ghost more easily than before, so yeah, I imagine that's what it is. Got a good challenger up next, guys. It's going to be Creator to come in and try and stop Solo's streak right here. But 4 maps remaining on the day, and Creator will step in to try and see if he can stop Sola from becoming a 6-time king. Or 6-win king, I guess we should say. Ain't no one beating Sola today. Creator has a chance, no? Creator has a chance. And just going through the rigmarole of trying to log into the Korean server, guys. Give us a couple moments. Get on track. Let me Persephone as the map pick, so we'll get that hosted, we'll get that started. Pick this off. And in game we will go, just trying to enter the lobby, which, like I say, Korean server is always an interesting time. I forgot one of the casters, so I'll just quit the lobby quickly and rejoin. We'll count down again. Creator to start us the second time. There we go. And we count down into Solar Creator. Might be the best chance we have of knocking Solar off, to be honest. Like, if I'm looking at it, I'm thinking this might be our best shot at this, right? Wardy, you have a stupid question. The last players have last possibility to earn points. Well, yeah, obviously the later you start, the less potential games you have to win. But if you are the last person standing, you do also get bonus prize because the last map is worth more. So the last map is worth more, and if you are the winner, if you're the last one standing at the end of the day, you get to start next time if you can make it. So you have the chance to be the very first up next time as long as you're available on the day. So yeah, starting later can be bad, but there's a couple of benefits to make up for it a little bit. So like I say, like if you come in as the last player, you can maybe catch someone on a big streak, for example, could be cool. Or you can, just, again, that last map of the day is worth more. It's worth double points. Yeah. Or is it? I don't actually. Well, okay. So the king is actually just worth money and points on its own accord. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I thought it was just the last map was worth more, but I mean, same idea, right? Because if you win the last map, you are the king. But yeah, basically you get an extra bonus for being the king at the end. So it's easier to be the king at the end if you start late as well. Persephone for map 6 in a row from Solo. Can he go to 6? I could say this might be his largest challenge. It's still ahead of him, to be honest. I don't know which players are still to come. Maybe there's some others that could come up, but can I go ahead and say that pretty reasonable shot at. I mean, you see a few, some great players in this tournament, and there's usually some strong guys at the end as well. But Trey is going to be one of the stronger guys we see, I imagine. Probably going to be the pool coming about. Let's have the Nexus coming about, Warp Gate on the way, the Adept coming over, so we get that settled in as well. Getting ready to go just for now. Stargate coming through, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming up. Just going to have ourselves the Bowling's going to nibble for a few moments there, so put some work in. Again, Link Speed, the Queen, Hatch and Drones all coming through. Getting settled because the Adept tries to get into the natural, the third hatchery, getting into place as well. I see there's a couple of Adepts going to go shading through. It's going to be having that Oracle coming about, the Adept coming in, Proby's coming on. We have our Adepts just chilling at the front for a few moments as the Oracle will pop out, and that'll give us a little bit more action to watch for if these Adepts don't do much, which, as they're shading backwards, they're probably not going to do much of anything. They're going to threaten for a couple of units, but Solo pulls everything back and out of reach for now. You could argue King of the Hill is not the most fair tournament. I mean, you could argue any tournament's not fair. How come you have to play against someone you didn't want to play against in the round of 8? I mean, obviously everyone plays different people and stuff, but it's just a different format, right? Like, I don't know if it's not fair. I mean, the thing about King of the Hill is, in this King of the Hill, like you say, if you win, you can return next week as the returning king, So, yeah. It's just a format. There's a bunch of different ways to win money with it, so it's reasonable. As a score 5-0, because Solo has won 5 maps in a row. It is King of the Hill, so every time he wins a map, a new challenger approaches. We're just keeping track of this win streak on the scoreboard. Forge Twilight Council and a couple of gates coming through. We will see the melee upgrade coming up. And that Twilight Council still building in. The Nexus finishing on the 3rd base, and Creator getting well set for the moment. Creator being doing a lot of good stuff when he gets later into the game lately. He gets 2 drones here. As always, it's just never worth losing an Oracle, because 99% of the time, you didn't need to lose the Oracle to do this much damage. Makes it 4 kills in the end, which makes it a little bit better, but again, there's almost never a reason to kind of actually lose the Oracle in this case, so that's just going to leave you in a tough spot. As the blink is starting from him and his follow-up begins, and you can get another Oracle on the way, so we'll still look to get to 3 Oracles total, so it can still have 2 poking around, 1 for defense, or just however he wishes to utilize them as well. So he gets a lot of choices there, and like I say, just prefers to rebuild an Oracle than to go without. +1 and blink both building through. The couple of Adepts will begin to do some shading around. That melee upgrade not far from being done. Baneling Nest in production. Lair and the hatchery coming through as well. The Oracle setting up. We get rid of a creep tumor. Adept will make a shade. Products facility about halfway done. Still got +1 and blink coming over. Again, that Baneling Nest is truly not far from finishing, so that Baneling Nest completed. Get some more drones popping out here. A couple of Oracles going to be able to fire and get rid of a Queen, so a Queen goes down. Still got the Hydrogen coming up. Melee upgrade finishing very shortly. Depth and Stalkers together will chase the Lings back. Again, +1 and blink will continue through. Probes and Stalkers on the way then. Observer coming up. Add the Assimilators on as well. Stalker Adept heading down to the bottom. Robo Bay and Robo Facility coming online. Just going to be having the +1 and the blink upgrade coming through. A couple Lings will take some shots, and we have ourselves the army upgrade. Kind of lingering at the front. Obviously, blink is about to be done, so we'd like to do something with that Robo Bay coming up behind. We'll see even further tech coming up in the near future. A couple of Adepts will try to shade. And the Lurk Den is going to be building as well. Hive starting. Zerglings getting after the pylon. Hive, Lurk Den coming through. Just going to be having our Hydras coming up. Plus some missiles coming through. The Overlord speed building also. Let's just see the feelings going in after the pylon. Pylon will go down. Probe going to be grabbed. A couple of Stalkers just going to come through. Go after the Lings as well. Stalkers blink back around to the other direction. A couple of Stalkers getting in after the Overseer. And Hive building, Overlord speed, +1 missiles coming in. Hydras will finish, +1 missiles still coming through. The missile augments coming about. Hive about to be done as again charge, +2. Thermal Lance all coming into place. Hydras and the Stulings going to get there, and the Stalker's going to get chased the other way. The Fulings looking for the wraparound. Going to try and get rid of the Stalkers for the moment. A few of the Stalkers still being chased down, and so going to have a couple of them pushed into a weird location. Obviously, with this Hydra count, the Oracles doing what they can as they basically back up and just hit the Lings that lead the Hydras. But we are pushing here, and Solo obviously feeling good. Maybe a couple more units swapping in. I was going to say, how far do you go? Because you're not reinforcing quickly without Hydra speed either, and you've got Lurkers on the way. So do we really want to like push forward right now? Not really. Stalker's just going to sit there. The Colossus coming through. Adrenal glands and the +2 missiles in the middle. He's going to get a chance to jump onto a few of these Zells, just going to get some kills. And Stalker's going to fight, the Ling's coming over. These shots continuing through. I mean, it's a nice catch. There's so many Stalkers being caught here, and Solo's going to get rid of so many of them. I mean, that's not pretty for Creator here, who is just losing out big time. There's a couple of those laser beams hitting the Lings, the Overlords coming about. Disruptor shot will fire. The Zald's going down. The Colossus still shooting. A few more hits coming by as we have the +2 missile attack upgrade coming up as well. Extra Hydras coming about. Dropping in the main base is going to be brutal. That's where Creator just has no preparation for. Colossus does not live at all. Thought it was maybe going to get away there. We're going to recall into these Lurkers. Obviously, that's not super terrible if you have the right stuff. I'm going to swarm through these. That's actually not so bad. Disruptor shot into the structures, I'm not sure is really meant to do much of anything. Top right-hand side, a bunch of those probes going down as well. So, I mean, that part is way worse. That part is way, way, way worse as the Hydras go after a couple more probes. The Zelds go down. 190 supply here from Solar at the moment, so again, looking good in that regard. So we're seeing the Hydras continuing through, and that is, again, that Nexus top right side taken out. Just going to see the rest of this army still gathering up. The Lurkers continue to build, 6 of them on the way through right now, so we get all of that on the go with 10 more lings, and the production is looking good from Solar. Creator obviously losing that upper right base, losing a lot of army in the process here, and Solar is not slowing down. He's already on the front doorstep to go again, committing to these attacks, actually loading up the drop lords as well, puts a few Hydras in even, and some Lurkers, a bit of everything for the main base, while he will otherwise look to attack at the front. A couple Oracles leading the way, will not last long. And we're getting to the point where I don't think we have the numbers to actually deal with the drop and also the push. That was a great Hydra dodge to actually get away from the disruptor range, because that actually looked like it could have been pretty scary. It's not in the end, and great use of that surging ability, that lunge to get out of reach. Oh, that was awesome. That's definitely one of the more fun things they added to one of the more fun things we got in that patch. Not the most recent one, but the one before. Hydra lunge, actually something which just fun to use, some cool use cases. Top the main base is still hanging around, by the way, so those units up in the main are going to have a good time. The Stargate is depowered, the Oracles went down, so I don't even know if we've got great detection. 2 observers only really to try and detect through the Lurkers, which is not ideal. I mean, it looks like Creator's just going across the map and looking to try and trade to end this, but the Lings are counter-attacking as well. Solo has full control of this game. Complete and total control. We're going to see the Disruptor shots fire. Hydra's getting blasted. And I think we are going to have ourselves the rest of the Ling Hydra Lurker pushing through. We're just going to be seeing the Observers. Still taking some shots. Disruptors go down. Ling's still chasing in. Stalkers and the Colossus being hunted. Colossus goes down. GG says Creator. Solar will take, indeed, this game 6. And that is going to mean that we are going to have ourselves a Zerg continuing to win on through. I mean, we've got a couple of maps left, 3 maps left. And so far, no one has touched Solar. No one has touched Solar at all. Alright. We'll see what server it is. I'd be a little surprised maybe if we stick on Korea, but we'll wait for the notice of what we are going to do. Who is going to be playing? It's going to be Art, the all capital letters Art. So that's going to be the NA server again. And we're going to hop on over there in a moment. Perfect, let's do some hopping. Let's do some moving. So, it's going to be more ZVP for Solar. So far, won 2 ZVPs, or 3 ZVPs, ZVZ, and a ZVT. Or 2 ZVTs even, I forgot about him first of all. We'll play Art next. 3 maps away from being king at the end of the day. Solar looking to keep this streak alive. Gonna go check out the OSC eSports.com website, guys, where you can actually track all of the StarCraft 2 records and stuff for this King of the Hill, as well as all the other OSC events. Solar's a multi-time champion of OSC, by the way, as well. He won a few years back. He is a 2-time champion, but he won Season 6 and Season 3. For reference, we're now on Season 13. So it's been a while, but he was the champ of this event once upon a time. When I say this event, I mean of the OSC Championship when you get to the end of the day. As Solar's here, just waiting for his opponent. Solar, his longest win streak in King of the Hill has been 15. So he's coming up to being halfway there, Nelly. So he's halfway there on that one, Nelly. Well, not quite 6. It's not quite halfway, but nearly halfway. Times Crown King. He's been the king at the end of the day twice before. How many maps has he got won? Solar. 57 map wins on King of the Hill. Not bad, man. Like 10% of his all-time map wins in King of the Hill going to be today. He doesn't play this event all the time, but obviously he had to play today and doing well when he shows up. I'm doing well when he shows up, I think is the motto. Zerg OP? Absolutely. How can a Zerg player win 6 different maps against different opponents in a row? It's broken, I tell you. It's broken. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do, 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 do. Just waiting on some vetoes and so to come through. It's ready to go, go, go. The line's going to be the map. Everyone getting hosted in. Should be good to go in a second, guys. So, get this hosted up, and we can go, go, go. We'll be ready to start. Alrighty, so, Art versus Solar. As we get ready to rumble. Any server. Now, here on this server, Art has got the lowercase r, so now I wonder which Art it is. Apparently it is the Russian Art, despite using the other lettering. So the Russian Art, for clarification, as we get into another game. The challenger in the bottom left will be the Russian Art, despite using the non-all-capital name, just to make the Art name situation even more confusing than it ever has been before. I didn't know this was a thing. I don't think I've ever seen him play on NA. But that is freaking rough. Top right, our blue Zergy is going to be Solar. Not Artosis? No, this is just Art. I know, I'm expecting Artosis to sign up for one of these King of the Hills any day now, but yeah, I'll keep on believing on that one, I guess. The moment, at least, for today. Probably on the patrol. I wonder if Art has some aggressive business kind of planned. Hatch gas, soon pool coming through. Hatch gas and pool coming over. This is going to be seeing the Cybercore and the Nexus both coming about, getting set up. Take a few moments. Let's just have ourselves a little bit of setting up continue to come through. We get going for a moment or so. Just gonna see the drone and the probe nibbling at each other. Lings, couple queens coming through, Lings be coming about. The Nexus will be on the way on the side of Art, so everything fairly regular for the first few moments. Nothing too crazy just yet. Stalker gonna shoot. Overlord taking some damage. And Twilight Council building through. The Adept and the Warp Gate building by. That Link Speed coming over. And we will just have ourselves, yeah, Twilight Council coming through, finishing very soon. And Twilight and a couple of gateways building for the moment. Extra gates continue to build. The Resonating Glaives is on the way up. Just going to Chrono Boost that on the Twilight Council. Just going to get that going. So the gates coming through, probes and the Adept coming by. Link speed building up as well. So the Glaives is the choice. I don't mind that. Obviously, I think you're an underdog here, right? And I definitely kind of expected a more aggressive stance from our Protoss in this game. So the Glaives makes a lot of sense. You'll take a third base behind it. It's not the most aggressive Glaives you can do. As the Rotron halfway done, the Lings and the drones will build up. Queen on the way. Lings producing Spore building. Here the Adepts will pop out and just wait to gather their numbers here. And the few Adepts is going to shade around. Just going to get out into the center. Again, that Glaive is about to finish. The Ling's looking to catch some Adepts already. Sees the rest of the Adepts now too. So Solar could not be more aware of what's going on, honestly. Adepts will shade. Just going to be seeing the chance to get toward the Roaches, the Spore. Adepts going to get there. The Lings and Queens going to be in position. The Roach is in position too, and that's a lot of damage straight away on these Adepts. Because everything is just in the right place, you can kill so many of them so quickly. We're down to 3 Adepts already. We're going to make it, what, 2 before we shade? They just get out of reach, so it's going to be 3 left over. Into the main mineral line they go, but this was a very good shutdown, and Solar's still building Lings. Do you guys get the feeling he might be running across the map in a moment? I definitely do. A couple of the Adepts starting to get cleaned out as well. He got a little bit more damage done. He cancels that shade, meaning that only 1 Adept survives here in the end. Seven drones dead then, and like I say, I imagine Solar wants something of a counterattack going. He's going to find a bunch more Adepts, and if they commit to that shade, they're going to be in trouble. Is he moving across with everything else? He's actually droning now, and he's building a lair as well, so it looks like Solar will just look toward the macro aspect of this. He's actually down about 10 workers, so he's actually in a bit of a rougher position. Let's see how Adept's going to go back the other way. You're just going to see the lair coming through, the Roaches coming up, Gates coming about, Immortal and the Adept coming over. Queenslings, Roach, Ravager gathering about. Just going to see the Roach and the Queens chasing the Adepts down for a few moments. The Gates continuing through, the Immortal coming by, the Overlords and Roach Speed in production. And so we still just have the Adepts continuing out back down the bottom left. Solar still recuperating those workers. He's going to get to 60 now, finally retake a worker lead in this game, but that's obviously taken some time. The Adept attack was way more effective than I thought it was, to be honest. He ended up, like I say, he didn't kill too many workers, but he definitely heavily disrupted what Solar was trying to do here. Definitely put Solar in, like I say, to me, a way worse spot than I thought he was going to be coming out of it. So, yeah, kind of surprised a little bit by that at the end of the day. Like I say, just the extent of kind of how it went, I suppose. Anyway, we got ourselves the Rex Roaches coming through, that Roach Speed coming about as well. Additional Overlords, and the Ling's going to take a chance to jump onto the pylon here. As you do see the Adepts and the Immortals also stepping across for the next few moments. And again, just trying to move by for now. Big army. Again up to the high ground. Lings go, oh, gonna get in! That's around on the Stalker at least. The rest of the Lings should be able to get through. That Stalker just dipped out of position. I mean, big push over here, but it's going to be rougher with your Lings on the other side. Forcing warp-ins elsewhere is definitely going to make this a whole lot more complicated. As you do see, the Roach Ravage going to come through. The Adept's taking a whole lot of hits. Force field's coming down as well, so I just don't know if that's going to make enough difference. We're running out of force fields too, so soon you're going to have free reign to just jump on this army. The Adepts will threaten that Shade. He can split a few units back while still chasing everything else, and yeah, the Adept Shade will be, what, 3 Adepts? So it really is not all that scary in the slightest, unfortunately, and it does feel as though we begin to see a situation here for Art where he is just not going to have much of a stand in this game anymore. Solar looking for the 7th win in a row today, looking very good in that regard. Very good in that regard. Good Debs just continue through. It's going to move back again a little bit. Ravager steps up. The Adepts are going to be right there. Again, trying to see what else we can maybe do for the next couple of moments. Just have this army jumping on this. I don't think there's going to be much kind of saving you here. Is my TLDR of this one. As that Roach Ravager just again collapses in. The Immortal's taking damage. The Sentry's in trouble. We're going to warp in a bunch more Adepts. That's going to be a GG. And Solar is going to take game 7 for himself today. And there is yet to be a challenger who can match up with Solar, who just keeps on looking good in these games after games after games. We'll see who the next challenger shall be then. We'll see who the next challenger shall be. Alright, so, like I say, wait for the challenger. We'll wait for the veto and so. See Christiana in the channel, so maybe some Christiana PVZ. Try and take on Solar. Maybe. Alright, waiting for them to sort out who is playing next, guys. We've got 2 maps remaining on the King of the Hill today. Thanks for joining us. It's been a fun one. It's passed pretty quickly. Oh, 3.5 hours in though, so it's been a good length. We're looking at probably about 4 hours in total. Been a good day. Has been a good day. Go Gold. Christiana hosted up onto Golden Aura, his map pick, so let's see what his PVZ has in store for us. Let's see if his PVZ can take on Solar. Get that ready to rumble. In the bottom right-hand side will be the challenger. Can he stop this train? Christiana, our red Protoss player, looks to stop the 7 maps in a row that Solar has rocked up in this event so far. The drones coming through, probing a pylon coming up. Yeah, Golden Aura. So, hatch and gas and a spawning pool coming up as we take a few moments. Just going to see the gateway coming down on the side of Christiana, getting that underway. Gateway finishes, Cybercore starts. And yeah, hatch gas and pool coming up as well as we get that underway. Get that ready to roll. There's the Lings coming about, the Cybercore and the Nexus coming over. I'm just going to be seeing our setup for the moment. And kind of a mixed bag of what the Protoss have thrown at Solar, as well as what Solar has done to them in return. So, let's see what Christiana's choice will be. Stargate to begin with, obviously, is pretty regular. Maybe seeing the Adept coming about, Warp Gate coming through. Stargate building. See coming. Again, Stargate on the way. Just gonna see the Adept gonna go for a bit of a shade. Hatcher on that third base location. Get that set up as well. So get that started through. Link speed building. Queen and a couple drones coming over as well. That will get Crypt Tumor, which is nice. I'll grab from the Adept before it takes a shade back down to the bottom side of the map. Okay, and then a little bit of a different direction. Queen's going through, the Link's coming up. Just going to be seeing the hatch coming through as well. Link's going to run around. Just going to be seeing the Oracle hanging about. It's going to be having the Nexus and the Color Probe. He's coming through. Oracle's overhead. The drones will build, and Oracle is going to be deflected by some Queen shots to begin with. The Oracle's going to activate. We just go after a drone or so. Queens wanting to try and get the Oracles. For the moment, we're just going to be seeing the Adept's going to be there. The Links take damage. Another Adept warps in. And Twilight Council and Forge building through for the moment. Robo Facility still coming up. We've seen the Queen's going to get that. And Twilight Forge, Robo Facility coming by, the extra probes coming into production, the drones are on the way through. And yeah, we get ourselves the Adepts shading up to the top. Obviously, this is not a commitment to Glaives or anything. It's nice to get 4 drones early, especially when you still got the Adepts to show up and maybe get some more damage done. Also, Christiana will threaten with that right now. Queen's going to try and position across. I think these Adepts commit, man. Stasis Sword going to come down to the side. We're going to get at least 2 more drones here, probably 3. That one stopped. Oh, that drone pops the Stasis as it goes down. It's kind of a cute little something. 3 drones just getting picked off. And the Adept's going to get caught again. It's just going to be seeing the Queens. Just going to get rid of those Adepts for the moment. And the Oracle's back down the left-hand side. Obviously a building, the Queen's still building by. I mean, 5 drones on top of the 4 earlier. That's 9 workers killed. Obviously costs you the 5 Adepts, but the Oracles are still up to play defense. Sentries are here as well, and that is going to be a cleanup for the moment. The station pit will start. 10 drones on the way, plus 1 missiles and roach speed, all building through. And a lot of that coming up at the moment as the Hydrogen and Infestation pit will also build by right now. And Hygiene and Infestation Pit both coming through, so we bring that straight up. As we just have the +1 missiles and Roach Speed all building in, charging the +1 coming over, a couple Archons and Gates coming over too. And a couple drones dead once more. So Solar's not an easy early game, right? Heading into this Roach Hider force, looking to get quickly to the lurkers too. Not going to be aggressive, just droning and going from there. Close to that bottom right. Couple Lings going to nibble at the Nexus. Uncle's going to gather. Feelings is going to jump onto the Nexus as well. A couple of Zealots going to warp in, go after those Zerglings. I see that. Sizing Clan's coming up, +2 missiles on the way. That +2 and Storm still building up as well. There's a couple of High Templars continuing in. Immortal going to finish, the Assimilators coming by. You can see in the couple of Oracles still hanging about overhead. So we still gather up, Storm in the +2. Coming through, a couple of cannons coming by. Again, the Immortal will step by as a couple of cannons in the Tempest. Stepping about. Carrier also producing by. Again, the Prism over to the sides. A good chunk of units from Christiana, but we're not really doing much of anything right now, right? Like, we just kind of sat there. We are building the carriers, so we're just looking for the later stage army to be set up, basically, and that's what we're going to play for at this point in time. The Roaches get rid of a few Zealots here. The Hydras and the Lurker coming about. So a few more Zealots warping in. They're going to aim straight onto this hatchery as well, so knock that down. Open up this space. And, yeah, the hatchery, as you can see, in quite a bit of trouble. A few Roaches and Hydras trying to step through as well. And +2 attack coming about. The air weapon upgrade coming online as well. Yeah, we're a couple of lurks in the center. I mean, we got some good shots off. You see a lot of shields missing on that army, but unfortunately, getting rid of shields doesn't do you much net gain in the grand scheme of things as the Zerg. Spire is going to be super important for Solar. Obviously, does need to get Corruptors up. Is going to need an answer to this Protoss kind of air force that is growing as we speak. Carriers in production, the +3 attack, the air weapons coming through as well. We run up this ramp into Lurkers. That's the one thing you do want to have happen in Solar. He's like, yes, please, let's do it. Prism goes down to a Spore Crawler as well. Good defense across the board from Solar. Pushes back the main army, pushes back the harassment in the main, and stabilizes while he sets up further on his main force. Yet to build the Corruptors, but may just go with kind of a larger ground attack first and then rebuild into Corruptors. Or maybe as some of this supply starts to go down with attacks from the Protoss player, maybe he replaces with Corruptors too. Right now it's only one carrier, we're not super desperate, but the rest are on the way. So we're getting there very shortly to the point where we do kind of want the extra stuff to come through. Carriers coming about, +1 air weapons and a +3 attack upgrade coming through. The Ling's going to get stormed. Creep tumors going down. Just going to be seeing the again, melee upgrades continuing about. Roach speed, adrenal glands coming through. +1 flyer carapace coming about. Results just to get that. Ling goes down. The Roach is still down the left side. Another hatch on the left. It's going to be Solar moving out from the 5 bases. And, I mean, right now we're in the top right is Christiana, so I don't know if that left side base is going to be in any trouble at all. Second Spires can get even more upgrades, or maybe even an upgrade to Greater Spire to potentially small Corruptors into Broodlords if necessary. obviously you can't morph the Great Aspire and upgrade at the same time, so we're going for something. Either continued upgrades while Great Aspiring, or just double upgrades. Either or, as Solar actually kind of lets this army walk up here, and he's going to be able to come in from 2 sides. Is that going to be okay? First Storm pretty preemptive. The Interceptors falling back to the carry as we save the hatchery, and for now Solar is going to be alright. Like I say, as he loses some supply, Corruptors should probably be the build. And he is starting to build up Corruptors as we say there, because at this point the carry count is much higher. And yeah, now 15 Corruptors on the way. Unfortunately, he's not gotten much for the supply he's given up on this, although he is going to just dive through and look to get rid of all the High Templar. If there's no Storms here, then obviously the follow-up of Corruptors are going to have a much better time. Actually didn't even lose too much there. 19 Corruptors currently on the way. We need to recall these carriers now while there's no anti-air. Like, Christiana is playing as though there's no Spire in existence, you know? And as Corruptors start to show up, like I say, the sooner we just recall these away, the better. Do we have recall? He's messing up if he sticks around with these carriers, surely. Now we recall. I mean, don't get me wrong, they did do some extra damage. He was killing lurkers with them, so they weren't all for nothing. But I think there's a point where, you know, you could have recalled any moment. Sooner you recalled than he recalled would have been an improvement on when he recalled, right? So, yeah, a little bit of a mistake on that regard, as you are going to see the Corruptor's going to dive into the Tempest there. Just going to be seeing the Tempest going down. The High Templars and the Zealots coming through. It's going to get another Tempest on the map. Christian's supply has plummeted and is not rebuilding quickly at all right now, as things are looking a little bit rough for him, and we're even going to show up and get rid of the Mothership as it spawns. The Void Rays are not going to be an answer here. We are going to storm the Corruptors, but one storm that the Corruptors can move out on is not going to be all that deadly. And now you probably just rely on a ground army. We're building 2 more Stargates, but we try and move out. There's already an army over here, and that's not going to be too pretty either, as we just have the Corruptors causing spraying down the Stargates. Maybe that's why we've got 2 new ones on the way. Replacements for the ones that are about to get sprayed on down. But yeah, it does feel as though we have a chance for Solar to not just take a great streak, but also a chance for Solar to possibly, maybe, end as the king. I mean, this is pretty interesting, because last week we actually had Spirit get to 8 map wins, and then the final map of the day he lost. So are we going to see like a repeat kind of performance, a bit of deja vu in terms of how the King of the Hill plays out? Storm comes down, the Lurker shot still firing. The Immortal Stalker Templar gather on the left. I mean, the counterattack's going okay, but at the same time, you're losing everything over here, and I do not think you realistically win any form of a base trade in the long term. You know, getting rid of a base is nice. We're actually going to start coming home now. You're running home to try and clean up lurkers that are sieged in your main. Like, you're going to have to run up a ramp into these lurkers. Doesn't really seem ideal. We are going to walk camp out on this left side base. It's not really a good long-term option. Can Solar build the Greater Spiral? He's not super rich right now, but no, he didn't. I was just wondering if he could maybe build some broods just to close the game out, because we're getting to the point where maybe just brooding onto that kind of base in that bottom left could have been a play. Solar is still a 4-base Zerg player, so while it's not the prettiest of economies, it's still an economy in comparison to Christiana, who has 1 base to hang on into, a lot of his production already going down. Falcon's pushing through. Hydra's coming about. It's going to be seeing the Lurkers. Going to burrow up potentially. And it's just going to be seeing a couple of Storms coming down on top of his own army. I get the feeling that Christiana knows that this one is done. GG's are called. And that is going to be Solar taking his 8th in a row. 1 map from being king at the end of the day, and a 9-map winning streak for himself. Solar very close to seeing this all the way through. Alright then. We get ready to rumble into our 9th map for Solar, and our final map of the day. Takes out Christiana, who will step in, try and play one final game. Oh. Lambo. Didn't expect to see him here. Lambo shows up. Alright, so Lambo Solar. It's going to be a ZVZ ending. Lambo making his King of the Hill debut. Very exciting. Just letting the guys know that they can host, because I'm not sure what the server scenario is, so... Alright, let's jump into map 9 for Solar. Can he get it done, or will Lambo deny him the opportunity? In the top right corner, the red Zerg is going to be Solar. He's 8-0 on the day. Can he make it 9 and finish as the king? Or will Lambo come through and deny Solar's streak? Because Solar is now on an 8-map winning streak, Lambo gets a bonus. If he beats Solar, an 8+ map winning streak, it means bonus money on the line. Plus being the king at the end of the day is bonus money, so Lambo gets to play the jackpot game. But can he get the win? Alright, game 9. Let's see what we get. Can Lambo put an end to Solar's streak? It is hatch, gas, cool from both players. So we're going to see a mirrored ZVZ opening. Man, a bunch of ZVZs today has been pretty darn cool to see. Very nice. Couple queens coming through, Lings coming about. The Overlord just heads down to the bottom left side. So we make some moves, we get across for the moment. Link speed coming about, drones and queens on the way. As we get settled, a couple Lings is going to go out to the bottom left. Couple Lings just make their move. Hatchery coming down onto the third base. Hatchery coming down from Lambo over here as well. Again, that Link speed coming by, the drones and so producing. Just got our hatch coming in. Big nest coming up. It's going to see that hatch coming through, a few extra drones coming over. We have the link speed building from both players, but yeah, mirrored stuff so far. Minor difference on some of the timings here, a drone here and a drone there, but the general concept of what's going on is similar. We'll see how committed to Ling Bane we get. So you can just kind of build a couple Banes, and if neither player builds that surge of Lings and everyone just drones up, we can kind of bypass the Ling Bane phase to some extent. We will see an Evo Chamber in the back from Solar. Kind of hidden away too, so not using that to kind of help wall off. We'd rather hide it. And is going to make that an attempt to basically be like, hey, I'm going to, set up into like an upgrade, but not let you know about it too soon. At the same time, Lambo builds a Roach Run, but that's in the front, and Solo gets in for the full scout with this Zergling. So he gets a complete scout of this right now. That's the Roach Run from Solo in the front. What Lambo doesn't know, unless he gets in, is the speed of that Evo Chamber, right? So then he doesn't know about the +1 missile upgrade being as soon as it is. He's going to start his own Evo Chamber. I think Lambo's just going to macro. I don't think he's looking to cut drones and spam roaches or anything. I think he just got that roach thrown up initially, and a little bit of greed from Solar getting that upgrade first will give him a slight benefit on some of the upgrade timing windows in this game. Evo Chamber going to finish soon. Couple of drones and overlords coming up. Extractor is building through on both sides. Roach Run about to finish from Solar. The lair about to be done. The Ling's moving by. The Ling runs into the main base. And Roaches and the missile upgrade all building about. And we get another Queen dropping down an inject on the hatchery on the front of the third base. 10 additional Roaches in production as we speak. Lings will make their way to the upper right-hand side. So just going to make a little bit of a journey up to the top. Ling Roach going to be there. A couple of shots coming out. We do get some Zergling kills. And yeah, Ravager going to come through. The extra Roach is coming about. +1 missiles coming in. It's still pretty even. The difference right now is that Solo is committing with this upgrade. So it seems like Solo is obviously just like looking to send this. Obviously, Lambo built the lair. He looks for Roach speed. He looks for the proper tech on this Roach Ravager force, whereas Solar is essentially committing on the +1 timing. So wants to get this win here in the next few moments. Lings coming through, Roach Ravager building up. We got a couple of Spine Crawlers building in the back. All of this Roach Ravager pushing down for the moment here. And those spines building, the Roaches getting ready. Can it be enough? And is it in time for Lambo? His own +1 will not be ready just yet, so he will be down on the upgrade for this fight. So he's down on army supply, he's down on upgrade, but he has that defender's advantage of positioning and of, he has the creep on his side right now. And he obviously has the concave. Cancels a spine crawler, so he feels okay about defending against this. There's a few Lings coming from the other side. He's got a couple of Banelings. Good call from Lambo. I mean, he's moments away from his own +1 missile upgrade. Again, reinforcements from Solo are going to be very slow to arrive, and he knows it. Lair on the way, drones on the way. He is not going to break through here. Lambo finishes his own +1. He can start Roach speed now and take a major advantage there. Could maybe go +2 as well. He hasn't seen other units coming across the map on the mini-map for a while. And Solo will take advantage of map control and will run by with the Lings, so an opportunity to get some more damage done. Again, the lair coming through, Roach speed coming up. The Lings in the main base are going to get to business. The Queen will go down. The Roach Ravager pushing through. A couple throws of vials. Trying to get through that spine crawl, and they will not quite finish it off. And Overlord coming through. The Roach is building. And the Ravager still producing as well. Roach is going to gather onto the Ravager in the front. And we just have Roach speed building from Solar as well. 4 vials. Overlord taking damage already. Extra Roaches finishing soon. The OV is going to be completing. Ravager's out to the side, and the Overlord is going to turn the other direction. This stage, Lambo, obviously, like I say, Roach speed going to be a little bit faster. I like Lambo's counter-attacking kind of commitment here. He has a lot more army supply because he had a bit more economy at first. And now he's just kind of built units, and he's going to have the Roach speed to position with. Is that good enough to break through the setup of Solar? What's interesting is obviously his reinforcements will arrive more quickly than Solar's were because of the Roach speed, so just traversing across the map becomes a faster affair. That should help, and it helps you here as well, dodging away from these vials, repositioning, getting the better concave. Gets a dive onto some of these Ravagers. You can't run away effectively as Solar, as Lambo has that speed and Solar does not for a little bit of time here. There is that one Spine Crawler, is getting a lot of damage done. Lambo still maintaining the supply lead army-wise at the moment. Again, needs to do well because he's down 10 workers. Everything else is going to be evened up after this fight. Otherwise, I mean, there's no +2 on the way from Solo. No one's going to take a further upgrade lead. Lambo's still building roaches. This is the right call, though. He does got a good bile. There's a couple of those roaches that are low HP that are going to be easily gotten rid of. Lambo just doesn't have the numbers here right now, and now he begins the drones and the +2s. So his attack is not going to work either. It turns out that attacking here in our final map of the day is not the vibe you're looking for, because no one who's attacked so far has seen success with it. Roach Ravager gathering through that +2 missiles on both sides. Just going to see the hatch coming by as well. As we continue to settle ourselves into this, just getting the Roach Ravager still joined together. +2 missiles coming through, Overlord speed coming up. Another Ravager begins to morph in right away here. Contaminate on the +2 missile upgrade stops that for the moment. And the Roach Ravager gathering around. Lambo just needs a few more drones to equalize the economy. It's a little scary, right, being down on eco and having been down on eco for this long already. Solo will begin to just afford a little bit more. Generally speaking, I mean, we're really just 5 drones away from this being pretty equal. Like, Solo's a bit faster to the +2 missiles. Lambo's down a lot of army supply, to be fair. I mean, it's only getting worse, like I say, because he's trying to build army off the 5 less workers. So it doesn't feel great. And Solo, maxed out. He's looking to attack again. He's looking to win his 9th in a row as the Roach Ravager gathers. Here we go, stepping forward, a couple of biles. Dodge away from that, the biles do not connect. As now we take this fight, Solar doesn't have an advantage yet apart from numbers, and I don't know if he has the numbers here either. He steps away from it, but he sent a bunch of roaches down the bottom, so he's going to cancel the 4th base. Getting the kill on the 4th is absolutely huge. That is going to stop Lambo from being set up effectively in this game. A few more biles, the Overlord turns away, the Roach Ravager still setting up here, and Solar comes around the left-hand side. The rest of the Roach Ravager moving through. We've got biles that can hit into this group. Overlords maybe would be fun. Not so fun for Lambo, who may start getting supply blocked if you lose enough of those. So I'll supply them away a little bit right now, as we do have... again, defensive position is nice, but then they're walking into the biles with the Ravagers is not going to be it. Solar pulling off that defense, and this time the attacker is actually going to become the winner, because this time it's really working for Solar. The 4th base already fell. He never even let up after that, because why would he? He's up 30 army supply still. Yeah, Lambo just never really rectified the drone situation, and obviously this fight now happening for a few seconds to +2, and not for Lambo. Solar is your king of the day, and he does it with 9 maps back to back. A Zerg won every game today, apart from the first 2 that had no Zerg in them. Obviously a lot of that work was Solar, but obviously Yakov started off with some work as well. He put some of the Zerg wins on the board before Percival. Okay, Zerg didn't win every game. Sorry, Percival did beat Yakov. Sorry. Apologies, I forget Percival beat Yakov. But then he lost to Solar, so Solar rectified the ZVT scoreline there. GG's. And my friends, that is another day of the OSC King of the Hill. Always super fun to do this event. It's something very different for me. It's very different for you guys, I think. It's just different, you know, it's a different format, and we don't get to do a lot of different formats. You know, I have my formats that work for my money that I put in. I think it's really cool that OSC always have their own format that can work as well. And always appreciate OSC, first of all, giving us some content to stream today, and all the rest of it. So thank you so much, OSC. This was our bracket at the end of the day, guys. This is how the King of the Hill played out. Solar, the king at the end. And this was the last map of the day, guys. So he will be the end of the day king. And he will advance on. If he wants to, if he's available, he can start as the first player of the next King of the Hill if he does so wish. And, yeah. That was our bracket today. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Guys, for the rest of this week, WardiTV October is beginning. So WardiTV October is beginning. So starting tomorrow, we're going to have WardiTV October action tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday, we're also going to do the rest of the OSC mid-season playoff matches that I had for this week. So there'll be a double stream, essentially, on Saturday. The only issue I have right now is I don't have a 4th player for tomorrow's group. So, yeah. If I don't have a 4th player for tomorrow's WardiTV October group, I'm going to work on that. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I wasn't maybe as energetic today. Like I said, I've been a bit stressed out this morning. I wasn't feeling great. So, it was just a morning. But came in for some chilled out StarCraft experience, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So Thank you so much for watching. What's up? Ah, no. Thank you for the 25-month resub. Thanks for another great stream, Wardy. King of the Hill is becoming my favorite format. It is super fun, isn't it? It's really nice. I really enjoy it too. I think it's awesome. So, yeah, go King of the Hill. I love it. Maybe we'll do something, it's kind of difficult to do for when I'm thinking of it. I was thinking about maybe doing something fun for, like, the Christmas period, but it's difficult to organize, because we generally get those things pre-played. So it is a bit more difficult to organize. But I do like the King of the Hill. It's been very fun recently, so yeah. Very cool. Alright. Loved it first time catching it. Hell yeah. No, I mean, we don't do this a lot. This is the second time we've done it this year, probably. But OSC run this every week. They just get different people to cast it. So shout out to OSC for having us this week. Like I say, we're back tomorrow with WardiTV October. So see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for more StarCraft 2 tomorrow and over the weekend. I'll catch you there. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you do not already. Appreciate you big time. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Set ads on the outro, obviously, guys, and we'll host them up on Twitch. So the usual business, you know. You guys know the drill. And of course, YouTube upload will be up in an hour or so, usual time. Thanks, guys. Bye.